Alrighty, folks, I am live. Welcome on into the Central Committee stream with your host, Mike from PA. We are here once again. How is everybody doing today? It is January 29th, 2026. I hope you guys are doing well. We have a lot to cover today. I'm going to cover a little bit of the Tectone stuff. The thing about me and covering any kind of streamer situation, especially when we're talking about crimes, is that I respect the privacy and the safety of the victim. And I have known about... Oh, the VOD from yesterday never showed up. Shit, I'm sorry. I forgot to push the button. Let me do that. Should be there now. And so I wanted to ensure that the information was presented in a way that protect the victim's safety. But everything that I have told you is going to come to pass has come to pass. And although there are people covering it who I don't like and don't trust, they have been truthful on the Tectone situation. Tectone has been adjudicated a sexual assaulter and a stalker. And that was the Tectone, secret Tectone information that I ended up not exposing because, as I said before, my priority was always defending victims and protecting victims. Unfortunately, less scrupulous people don't give a shit about that. Somebody said gold sell-off. What gold sell-off? What gold sell-off? I mean, okay. Yeah, I guess it crashed for the last couple days. Wait, what happened? Huh? Is this just displaying wrong? Opened at 5.5 and now it's at 53. Was that a flash crash? Like, what happened? The fuck's happening? Okay, I don't know what the hell's happening there. That looks like a display bug to me. Christ almighty, dude. $113 an ounce? This is crazy. Should I buy into gold? Here's kind of how I feel. I have no fucking idea. Whenever something makes this much of a run in this short of a period, you get FOMO, right? And maybe it's going to go higher. I can't tell you it's definitely not going to go higher. We're in unprecedented times and commodities. Like, what do you want me to say? It could definitely go higher, but if you look at you're telling me that suddenly silver became this much more valuable? I don't know about that. Tesla announced the Type S and X models are being discontinued. No. If that was true, Tesla should be valued at like $5. Shanghai spot is that high? What the fuck? PP Glass says prepping for another neck surgery. I'm paralyzed from getting shot in the neck, but now there's scar tissue wrapped around my spinal cord causing pain and problems. I'm so sorry, PP Glass. What the fuck? Good luck in your surgery. Hassan briefly talked about Rape Tone yesterday. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he did, but he kind of did it shittily. From what I saw, like, I love Hassan, but I don't think he talked about it in a really good, clear way, and I don't think he did a good job of debunking some of the narratives. Tesla also been siphoning off funding from Tesla to send Elon's new AI project. They also had a loss in revenue for the last quarter, according to their earnings call last night. Yeah, because nobody likes Tesla anymore because Elon Musk is garbage. The people that would buy a Tesla are like me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, fuck no. No. The idea of me buying a new Tesla right now? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The problem is there's no good electric car in America. Did you see a new chorus cohort dropped? Yes, I did see that. And it explains a lot because I've seen a lot more posts on Twitter going like, reminder, leftists are to blame for Kamala Harris not winning. And I'm like, huh? And it was very coordinated. So it seems like this is basically, it seems to me what's happening is the paid liberals are being pushed to promote this kind of idea that let's not talk about Trump, what Trump's doing and how we could fight back now. Let's talk about how if only Kamala Harris would have won, we wouldn't be having a problem. And it's the left's. I think it's a knowing psyop based on the fact that regular people are flocking to the left because it seems to be the only group resisting Trump. So that's a thing. I think one part of Elon's right-wing persona was that he really thought the right would embrace him and start buying Teslas to own the libs. That's clearly not happening. No, they consider electric cars to be gay. there was a very short period of time. Leftists and liberals were kind of pro Tesla, even though they were garbage as far as like, you know, they manufactured in the US, but they didn't have a union. And that's really where the friction between Elon and the left began, because Elon was promoted by, you know, people were on the left wanted electric cars. We've wanted electric cars for a long time because we, you know, cars are a big part of America's transportation network, and people on the left wanted electric cars that were viable for a long time. So Elon Musk managed to create what was, you know, a viable electric car, and it had some like cool factor, which is what had been missing, right? And I'm not saying that I believe this now. I'm saying that this was true in the past. Is everybody clear? Okay, cool. And Teslas were largely cool. Like for example, Joe Rogan, the ultimate bro, was out there talking about how cool his Tesla Plaid was and how fast electric cars are, and they had a lot of cachet for being kind of inexpensive power, and there was like a futuristic element to it, and there was exclusivity to it, and that's all gone now because Elon Musk basically spit in the face of everybody who liked his cars. And I would honestly say it was Reddit liberals who were the big pushers of Tesla, right? It was basically people that are like, science is real, and I don't like conservatives because they're anti-science. Like that was the base of the Tesla, the kind of upscale white nerd who wanted to be cool. But for the most part, everybody played along with it. Like having a Tesla was more prestigious. It was kind of like oh, you have a Tesla? That was a way that people looked at it. I mean, fuck, look at streamers. Like a lot of streamers had Teslas. So Elon has completely destroyed that. Everybody looks at it and they go, the only reason anybody gets a Tesla is because they're of price. They're trying to get value for money. Once you're in that tier, nobody likes Teslas anymore. And as far as cultural cachet, it's not like you don't brag, I got a Tesla, and people are like, ooh. ICE is Israel, the United States of Israel. The United States of Israel. Can I say one thing about this? This is a sign that they feel like they're gonna lose. Like this is a sign they feel like they're gonna lose. Like this is kind of the cuck energy of the conservative. Like they feel like eventually they're gonna lose. So they're hiding their identity. The Nazis at least had the self-confidence to pose in their pictures. Your tweet went viral on this topic. Sometimes the behavior is simply bizarre. After an attempted abduction left a couple dozen observers standing on a neighborhood street, one ICE vehicle circled the block, broadcasting a looped audio recording of a woman screaming. My guess is it was probably a recording of Renee Good's spouse or a partner after she was shot. That's my guess, if I had to guess what the recording was. And what I said is, this is literally an Israeli tactic. The IDF would have drones playing sounds of children screaming or in distress, and then shoot people that came out to help the children they believed to be there. I typoed. I didn't even notice that. This is a thing armies have been doing since it's been easy enough to haul around powerful audio equipment. Can you give me examples of the Allies playing sounds of injured children to lure out German civilians to murder? You're right. The perfidious invented ethnicity made it up. 0 likes. 0 likes. 0 likes. I have never seen an immaculate ratio. 0 fucking likes. And then he did it. Oh, he did it again. Damn, it looks like you lied again. Typical Zionist. 375 likes. Not even a Zionist. You guys lost so badly you deny it now. Now people were like, lost. Israel isn't a pile of rubble like some other places I can mention. Biden Harris 24 LMAO. Oh my God. That's my favorite interaction from this. Shoot first, block the ambulances, call the victim a terrorist. Yeah, if you want to know what this Epstein guy, this Brian Epstein guy is a Destiny fan. I guess he unfollowed Destiny because it's too embarrassing to be a Destiny fan. But I've seen him before many times defending Destiny. Here we go. He went through and he deleted all his Destiny related posts, all his Destiny mentions, but I guess he forgot to just search Destiny. I post a lot about Destiny, but I have 0 mentions of Destiny. Of his actual account. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, that's just ages. Oh, fuck. Why is he doing so badly with young people? Oh, these are Zionists! Bro, just make ads calling them Zionists. This race is wide open, folks, and it's going to remain so well into the summer. God damn it, dude. You gotta be harsher. We gotta be more negative. We have to be more negative. We have to be more negative. It's insane how famous Destiny is for not even his own content. So famous for a 1K viewer streamer. It's because he used to. Okay, the answer is because he's a Nepo baby. Large streamers, he's an old school. He's like one of the first big streamers. And so he has a lot of motion with other streamers, and he used to have a big community. And so he still gets treated as if he's like a really big streamer by those older streamers that are large. And then he bots like crazy. You have to understand that he bots like crazy. He has like, I want to say like between 200 and 500 super hardcore fans who literally dedicate their entire life to him. Now, that's not a lot of people, but it is a lot of people. Head of U.S. Cyber Defense Agency Madhu Garumukala uploaded sensitive documents to public chat GPT. What, are you surprised? Are you surprised? Somebody is spoofing ADSB to post the JD Vance meme. Okay, cool. That's a felony. Once you realize most accounts defending him are the same people all the time, it really opens your eyes. Yeah, of course. China opened its first school of space exploration. Oh, damn. This is cool as fuck. The University of Chinese Academy of Sciences unveiled on Monday its new school of space exploration, a training ground for China's next generation of space pioneers. The school will offer an interdisciplinary curriculum spanning 14 fields, ranging from aeronautics to planetary science. 22 main courses will be added based on the existing 97 courses, merging science, technology, and real-world applications. The Interstellar Flight Committee, founded by legendary... Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, America doesn't do stuff like that anymore. We spend 180 billion not on space exploration. What is the total money spent on NASA since its founding? I'm curious. 1.8 trillion in inflation adjusted dollars. Nominal spending from 1958 to 2011 totaled roughly 526 billion. In 1965, it was 4% of the federal budget. Wow, I didn't know that. According to AI. God, they spend so little, dude. 20 billion. He wants to comment on the Tectone situation, but can't because of the lawsuit.
Slicker. Yeah, crazy slick. Yeah, it's just there's so many people. I wasn't really close with them, right? But like, yeah. I just think streaming is just, it's so fucking toxic.
What a fucking roach. Does anybody have the old links of Asmongold talk about how he's gonna talk big and Tectone's gonna be this and Tectone's gonna be that?
Tectone is a civil case. I don't want to, like, because I'm being it's complicated. I will comment on it and I want to talk about it, but just based on a lawsuit that I'm in right now, I don't want to make any comments on it just for the sole reason of because of that law.
So wait, is he being sued for defamation? Is Asmongold being sued for defamation right now? Who's suing him? Mizkif is?
If it wasn't for that, I would have talked about it a lot. I do have opinions on that. I'm waiting for that to, but there it is. Sad the wrong people get put in such desire.
All right, let me just say this. Tectone is a rapist. Tectone is a rapist. Tectone is a stalker. And I can say that because a court found that. Now, he wasn't convicted of a crime yet, but I have firsthand knowledge that he's being investigated and that the judge at the hearing seemed to be very interested in prosecuting Tectone for crimes. And not only that, the judge was visibly furious and felt like that Tectone should be in prison. Now, we can all pretend that this is nothing. Now, in America, we have a dual track legal system. You have a criminal court. Criminal court are brought by government officials, okay? And we have civil court. Civil court does not mean it's not true. It's just actions brought by private individuals of their own expense and initiative. So Tectone was found in those civil courts to be a stalker and a sexual assaulter. And I posted something about it, and I want you guys, and I'm gonna go over some of the documents this morning, and then we'll get back into regular politics. But this is very important that I do this. I know a lot of you don't really give a shit. We cannot allow the rape culture of the Austin streamers, that like the Asmongold circle, pollute our platform without saying anything. I think it's actually wrong of us to not say anything. And I tweeted this last night. Tectone tweeted, guys, Real quick, let me correct some shit I'm seeing said about me. I wasn't convicted of a crime. I wasn't involved in a criminal proceeding. I'm not going to fucking jail or facing any criminal punishment. This is a lie. He is basically, he got the worst possible outcome you can get. I want to say that again. He lost as much as you can lose in that court. There's no way to lose harder than he did, literally. Okay, so if he says Pikachu's name, he's going to jail. Here's Asmongold originally talking shit. Okay, let's go over here.
You've let it go on for years.
I think this is the main reason why Tectone has become so extreme. And whenever you think about it, really calling somebody a rapist is one of like the top 3 things that you can say to somebody that is career destroying, career ending, or damaging. And so when you have an entire group of people that are really with no evidence at all, saying that Tectone is a rapist, rape Tone, and saying, well, Tectone must be a rapist. Look at his dad. His dad had this thing happen with the military. Like, think.
Okay, so I just want to stop this right here because Asmongold is a fucking liar. So I want to clear up the sequence of events here. Tectone would bring his rapist father, who had a special law created because of how much of a rapist he was, to his podcast and bring him around other people without disclosing that his father was a sex criminal. And then he would go around talking about how much of a hero and patriot his father is, even though he was forced out of the military under dishonorable conditions for being a rapist. That's why people brought it up. They didn't say, oh, you're a rapist because your dad is a rapist. They brought it up because his dad is a rapist and a sex criminal, and he would bring him around people and brag about his dad's military service, which again ended dishonorably. That's why people brought it up.
Think about how disgusting that is, really, if you said that. Like, and really think about, can you imagine what it would be like if somebody like Tectone said, well, look at this person, they must be a criminal because their dad is a criminal or their other family member is a criminal, and that person was black. Do you know what would happen to that person? They'd be fucking banned. They would be fucking banned, and they should be banned.
So here's what I want you to understand, chat, is that he is trying to do a racism here because to him, black equals family members criminal. All of your friends are fucking rapists or sex pests, you fucking loser. All of your friends.
That's the only reason why it's been accepted.
Years. The amount of...
They call him a generational rapist? Yes. It's implying generational guilt.
No, that's not what they're implying. They're saying your father raped and you're a rapist. And the judge agreed. I want you to understand something, chat, that the judge agreed with that. Now, the judge was not empowered. The judge was not empowered to put him in prison directly because that was not a criminal case. Had it been a criminal case and had he been given a bench trial, he would have gone to prison as a rapist right then. I want you to understand that is the level of disdain, okay? And I'm going to show you that. Here is the protective order. Here is the protective order from the case in full. Now, I have redacted the names of the victim. I have redacted the name of the victim's attorney. This is the full protective order, and it is public record. Now, there was an attempt to seal some of this information to protect the victim, but other idiots leaked shit, so it is what it is. So before we begin, I want you to understand what a protective order is, okay? A protective order, this is from Travis County, so this is Austin County. This is from the county that the protective order has been adjudicated in. Aren't there receipts of him view botting too? Yes. There are. You could say without a doubt that Tectone bots his content. And if you think he's only botting it on Twitch, I have a bridge to sell you. A protective order could prohibit or limit an abuser from interacting with you in instances of family violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, or stalking. If you believe a protective order might be right for your situation, this page will help you get started. What is a protective order? A protective order is a set of legal rules issued by a judge that prohibits or limits how one person interacts with another person. A protective order can provide protection to prohibit an abuser from communicating with you in a threatening or harassing manner. She got this. Provide a 200-yard stay from your residence, work, school, or daycare. She got this. Prohibit an abuser from owning and possessing a firearm. She got this. She won a full protective order. And I want to go over it even more. A judge will ultimately decide how long the order lasts, but in most cases, they're in place for 2 years. She got a 10-year protective order. Hold on, chat. I want you to understand. I want you to understand. Breaking the terms of protective order can carry serious legal consequences, including fines and jail time. Protective orders can be issued to any person who has been the victim of family violence, stalking, sexual assault, or trafficking, regardless of their citizenship or legal status. According to the National Institute of Justice, protective orders are as much as 80% effective in reducing future violence. Getting a protective order is free. To get a protective order issued in Travis County, the acts of violence must have happened in the county, or the victim or their abuser must live in the county. Tectone used to live in Travis County, but he moved in order to try to avoid getting this protective order. Literally. That's why he moved and stopped streaming. So here we have John Robertson, that is Tectone. The court finds that the respondent was provided with reasonable notice of the hearing and an opportunity to be heard. So what did the court find? Now, findings and orders finds that the reasonable grounds to believe the respondent committed one or more of the following offenses against the applicant: stalking and sexual assault. Let me zoom in even more so you guys can see. Stalking court finds there are reasonable grounds to believe the respondent committed one or more of the following offenses: sexual assault and stalking. That is the reality. That is the reality. And I want you to understand something, chat. Tectone appeared in person with an attorney. The judge listened to the evidence and said, I believe you are a rapist. I believe you are stalking. You are a disgusting human being. There was also, and this is confirmed, he had recordings of some of the sexual assaults and his victim in sexually compromising positions, and was ordered to delete all of them or else he was going to prison that day. The judge said, if you don't delete them right now, I'm going to put you in prison myself. Relationship of parties. The court finds that the applicant and the respondent are related in the following manner: current or former dating partners, are or were members of the same family or household. Here's the conditions and terms of the order. The court finds that the following conditions and terms are necessary or appropriate to prevent or reduce the likelihood of family violence or future harm to a person protected by this order or a member of the family or household of a person protected by this order. This court orders the respondent to obey all entries marked below. The respondent must not commit further acts of family violence against the applicant or any member of the applicant's family or household. Physical harm, bodily injury, assault, or sexual assault, or threats reasonably placing a person in fear of physical harm, bodily injury, assault, or sexual assault. So in other words, the court not only found that he did it, but also that there was a risk that he would try to do it again. 2, not communicate in any manner with a person protected by this order or a member of the family or household of a person protected by this order, except through the protected person's attorney or a person appointed by the court. Don't forget how absurdly hostile the legal system is to women and victims of SA and stalking. For a court to go this hard, it must be bad. Yes, this is in Texas. I want to say this again. This is not California. This is not New York. This is not Illinois. This is not Massachusetts. This is Texas. And it's important that we cover this. It's important that we look at this and you understand just how bad this is. The court finds good cause exists to prohibit direct communication from the respondent. Do not communicate in a threatening or harassing manner, directly or indirectly, with a person protected by this order or a member of the family or household of a person protected by this order. So if you see anybody talking about Pink Shoe and say they talked to Tectone, he will go to prison for that. Also want to point out that Tectone hired a retired Texas state judge as a lawyer and still lost. He had, from what I understand, he had a legal team of 5 lawyers. He's not allowed to go within 200 yards of her or any place that she's working. And he's not allowed to go to nearby any childcare facility that she has any relative at. Why would Tectone lie about facing jail time and being convicted if it's public knowledge? Because it's not a conviction. Technically, it's not a conviction. He's been adjudicated in civil court, in family court, to be an abuser and a stalker. And he's lost a lot of his rights. Now, that's different than being charged criminally, which, by the way, there is an investigation ongoing. There is a criminal investigation ongoing, and the statute of limitations has not run out. So Tectone may actually face criminal charges based on the fact that he was defeated so bad at the civil trial. Detectives are going to be much more interested, and from what I understand, he is being investigated. But that the victim in this case was told you should get a protective order first to protect yourself because of all the harassment that Tectone was doing and how threatening he was. So she went and got this protective order first. From what I understand, criminal charges are still pending. Do not engage in conduct that is reasonably likely to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass when that conduct is directed specifically toward a person protected by this order or a member of the family or household of a person protected by this order, including not following or causing another to follow a protected person or member. I want you to understand something, chat. This is why Tectone does not stream anymore. This is why Tectone does not stream. He's not allowed to embarrass her anymore. So he cannot stream because people would go to his chat and say, talk about Pink Chew, and he would not be able to. And if he did, he would immediately go to jail. And he's dumb. I think he's already violated this order. Is it true that Tectone leaked stuff via his Discord alt? From what I understand, there is an accusation that Tectone is leaking sealed documents on a Discord alt that only he would have access to. And I believe, based on my legal training and my understanding of this order, would rise to the level of a direct knowing violation and would, if it could be proved, put him in prison. He's dumb as fuck. I honestly think he needs to be arrested just so he can experience what that is like, so he shuts the fuck up and goes away. Open presence, thank you for the 10 tier 1s. Or the 100 tier 1s. My bad. That's wow. Holy shit, that's 100. Thought it was 10 at first. Do not take, harm, threaten, or interfere with the care, custody, or control of a pet. Do not transfer, recover, or otherwise dispose of property mutually owned or leased by the parties. Do not track or monitor the personal property or motor vehicle in possession of a person protected by this order or a household member. Do not possess. This is very important, chat. And this is where it's crazy. Do not own, possess, buy, or attempt to buy, receive or attempt to receive, or in any other way obtain possession, ownership, or control of a firearm, firearm parts, or ammunition, unless the respondent is a peace officer actively engaged in employment as a sworn full-time paid employee of a state agency or political subdivision. In other words, in Texas, they have a special cutout for police officers that have gotten protective orders against them so they can keep carrying guns, that's crazy. Do not attempt to persuade or dissuade a protective person from attending a hearing, testifying, or making a report to any law enforcement agency or another person. There are additional orders. The judge felt that the standard protective order wasn't enough, and they needed to make more orders directing Tectone to stop committing crimes. The court ordered that he pay all the costs. He now has to pay her $15,000 for attorney's fees. So not only is he lost his right to carry a gun, not only is he not allowed to ever talk about her, he also has to pay her entire attorney's expenses of $15,000. A person who violates this order may be punished for contempt of court by a fine of as much as $500 or by confinement in jail for as long as 6 months or both. A violation of this order by commission of an act prohibited by this order may be punishable by a fine as much as $4,000 or confinement in jail for as long as 1 year or both. Act that results in family violence may be prosecuted as a separate misdemeanor or felony offense with prison term of 2 years. Possession of a firearm or ammunition while this protective order is in effect may subject the respondent to federal criminal penalties and is unlawful for any person who is subject to a protective order to knowingly purchase, rent, lease, or receive as a loan or gift from another a firearm for the duration of this order. Typically, it's 5 years, I believe. He's now formally admonished that he cannot possess any gun or ammo. Beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you are ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. If he had a license to carry a handgun, it's now formally suspended. The court finds that the respondent is disqualified from possessing a firearm pursuant to federal law because the applicant and respondent are spouses or former spouses, share a child in common, and or live together or have lived together in an intimate relationship. The respondent has received actual notice of the hearing pertaining to this order and was given an opportunity to participate, and the order restrains the respondent from harassing, stalking, or threatening the applicant or child of the applicant. The court issues this order for 10 years. Now, as you remember, traditionally the last 2 years, the court found that Tectone was so dangerous and so likely to be guilty, they extended it by 5 times the normal period. A 10-year protective order. This is the additional procedure. Not communicate in any manner with a person protected by this order in any manner whatsoever, including through phone calls, emails, text messages, any kind of social media, and any kind of communication through third parties. Relinquish any firearms in respondent's possession by Monday, February 2nd, 2026 to law enforcement and provide a receipt of relinquishment no longer than 5 p.m. on January 22nd, 2026. Not disseminate, reproduce, or share any photographic, video, electric, or digital media that is a recording of the applicant or displays an image of the applicant. Basically, the court found that he had revenge porn that he was blackmailing her with, and that he would release it if she called him out for the sexual assault. And the court said that if you release any picture of her, you're going to prison. Here he was ordered to pay $15,000 for her attorney's fees. If he doesn't pay it immediately, there's a 6.75% interest rate compounded annually from the date of the judgment. Furthermore, Tectone signed this order acknowledging that he now understands that he cannot own guns for 10 years. John Robertson, aka Tectone, are prohibited from possessing and or receiving firearms under federal law. I, John Robertson, do not have any firearms or ammunition in my possession or in my residence. I, John Robertson, acknowledge that firearms may not be owned by, loaned to, rented by, or borrowed by me. I, John Robertson, also understand that actual or constructive possession and or receipt of a firearm by a protected person is punishable by a term of imprisonment of 5 to 10 years and a fine of not more than $250,000. And he swore under penalty of perjury that all information is true, correct. I want you to understand something, chat. A Tectone is, and you could now say that Tectone, as far as you're concerned, is a sexual assaulter. You could say that he's a stalker because he has a formal adjudication by a court. It is not defamation. Why do we care about this guy? He is one of the main harassers of the left on Twitch. He's one of Asmongold's and the online right's biggest allies on Twitch. And he has been found to be a sex criminal who's lost his right to carry a gun. Why are all of your enemies like this, LMAO? Because I'm a good person. What do you think happens when you're a good person? Evil people like you? Do you think that when you're a good person, evil people don't go after you? When you're a good person and you don't treat women this way, the guys who have a old boys club of exploiting women because no woman wants to fuck them. Do you understand? No woman likes them. No woman wants to fuck them. So they have to rape them and coerce them in order to get sex. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but friend of the show, Peach Jars, said he has me blocked on every account, but could y'all post this under Tectone's latest tweet and please ask him if he's jealous? Thank you. So there you have it, chat. Tectone is a rapist. He is a stalker. He's a danger to the community. And he should absolutely 100% be permanently banned from Twitch. And could someone explain to me why he's not been permanently banned from Twitch? I mean, this isn't a rumor. This is a adjudication by a court. Show all the people posting the Peach Jars photo of the replies. It goes on forever. All right, hold on. And just so you know, chat, this botted fucking loser, this guy tried to shit talk me. I replied, and within a week, he was crying on his stream. Fuck broken is the term that I should never use. Fuck. I'm sorry, chat. I hate this guy so much. I'm sorry, chat. I hate this guy so much. Fuck. Sorry about that, guys. Fuck. Come on, Mike. Oh, god damn it. Sorry, chat. I hate this guy so much. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. This is your one mulligan for the month. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I know it's not like a slur or anything, but it's still a term that I shouldn't use. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. What a dumbass. Anyway, I'm not cool with it. Yeah, and neither am I. Neither am I. I don't like it. I don't like it. Stop with your horse comments. Are you Vosh? Yeah, I know. I know. Anyway, we dog walked him. Chapo's talk about the movie, but no, the thing is, I don't even care. I don't care if other people think it's fine. I don't care if other people think it's fine. I don't think it's fine. I should have said that. It's all right. It's okay. Even if other people think it's not a big deal, and it's not like it's some sort of huge racial term that people use all the time. It's just, yeah, I don't like it. I already said I don't like it. So the fact that I said it is fucked up. Now a bunch of sub 200 viewer left. No, they're not. They don't care. It doesn't matter. And I don't like that I said it. It's all right. I apologize. He has me blocked at every account. Holy fuck. Anyway, what is your most boomer take? My most boomer take. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. God, I had to unfollow that insufferable organizer memes account on Twitter making old slop slander posts about you relevant again. I can't believe I followed them during the election. Wait, they're trying to slander me again? No one even replied. They must be botting. No one ever showed me. Okay, what are the memes? I think it's probably bad for our brains to continuously see every bad thing happening on Earth within minutes of it happening. Why? What's wrong? What's wrong with knowing the truth? Can you not handle it? I don't see any Mike from PA slanders. Whoa, so Mike from PA is an actual documented anti-Semite. That's what they're trying to say? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yes, I've been stunned. Nobody seems to care about this, and he's still on Twitch for a while now because I wasn't speaking about Jewish people. I was talking about Benjamin Netanyahu. This is it? I would not be taking anything from Diddy Dan Saltzman. That's it? He must be getting money from, he's definitely getting money from Chorus. He must be getting money from Chorus. That's what it is. Dan Saltzman. Mike being as anti-Semitic as possible. How is calling people of Jewish? I like Jews. Please don't ban me again. By the way, chat, look at the allies that they have. Look at their allies. Nux Taku, Tectone, and Asmongold. Look at their allies. Leftists are typically anti-Semitic. Is that it? Did you see Nux go viral on TikTok? Judge me by my enemies. Yeah, seriously. Anyway, let's keep going. I didn't think it's a coincidence that while Trump is running rampant and the leftist scene is fighting the admin, all of a sudden liberals are attacking the left as having thrown the election. I've never seen so many accounts do this at one time. Yeah, they're getting paid. They're getting paid. And that's it? 900 likes? That's all you can get? Even with all the Destiny, by the way, like half the people with that reply were blocked by me. So even with the boosts from Destiny, that's it? 900? That's all? That's it? Is that all? Post is from an account. 18 likes, 2 likes. I mean, I guess 6 likes, 32 likes. I guess without talking about me, they get 0 likes. So 20 likes. Oof. Looks like their reach got crushed. Can you imagine paying like $9,000 a month for this? $9,000 a month to get 20 likes. My last post, I got 10K likes. I think we might be having a difference in reach, chat. I think we have a slight difference in reach. I don't know about that. Perhaps. Oh my God, I just hit 50K on Twitter. All right. Okay. Well, that's all we're going to talk about with Rape Tone right now. This isn't the first time I see them make a snark post about you. I shrugged it off the first time. It's because they're a Democratic Party shill. And they don't like when anyone criticizes Democrats. They obviously don't think you're anti-Semitic. Otherwise, they'd be posting more than one clip. Yeah, but that's not... They don't care. They're just trying to smear me. That's it. They're just trying to smear me. It's like the picture of me cringing where people are like, aha, you cringed with a girl. And it's like, I was dating that girl at the time and we were bantering. And it was my first time being on an IRL stream and I felt uncomfortable. Obviously, I cringe and it's an embarrassing moment. But they've created their own they've created their own fan fiction. And who created that fan fiction? Destiny. Like that's all it is. Again, 100% of the smears that are from me and against me and Hassan actually do come from Destiny stalking. Everyone knows that slander Hassan and where the views at. What are they, stupid? I mean, people get decent views slandering me from time to time. It's funny and it makes people act like they never experienced gamer rage and threw a controller on stream. I mean, the Destiny vid trying to riz up Hassan at the event is way more cringe. Well, the thing is, and ultimately, it's not about anything being true or not. It's about trying to create narratives that are thought terminating cliches. All right, let's move on. He was yelling fuck Kamala before the election and now blaming everyone else. Political grifter behavior. It's not. Why was that a grifting? How is it grifting to say fuck Kamala? There's a lot of money in the anti-Democratic Party left. Is that right? Is that right? We got to get the panda out of DSA. I agree.
To doing this because they're not going to change on their own.
Oh my God. Guys, look at our enemies. The people try to keep Twitch safe. The people try to keep Twitch safe, guys. They're trying to keep Twitch safe. Brian Tyler Cohen announces Chorus is funding a new class of 95 liberal creators. Who are they? Who are they? Who are they? I saw a 1 million plus liberal Instagram account posting more trading for ICE after the Alex Preddy murder, and I DM'd them admittedly harsh message. They put my name and face on a grid post. I spent all of Saturday blocking accounts, sending death threats, and doing damage control with my jobs. Who they were tagging. Pretty sure they are one of the Chorus people. Send me a DM. Send me a DM of what happened, man. I'll take a look. 180 likes, by the way. I still can't believe Hassan defends BTC and David Pakman. He does? Christ. They're literally Destiny friends. David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen are close friends of Destiny. The only reason they stopped collaborating is because of the sex crimes shit. It was a bad look. I have never seen him defend Pakman. Yeah, that's why I'm very surprised to hear that, because I watch him a lot and I've never seen it. Tectone is finished, and now his clique of gotcha CCs are washing their hands of their role in his rise. Do people not realize the reason why Tectone even had a platform to begin with is people like Mujin and Braxphone? Tectone was always a bully, and they supported him. You knew about this for more than a year, but you continued to respond or support Tectone up till a month ago, you fucking lying sack of shit. Yeah, you totally didn't say anything because you were just pretending to be Tectone's friend for safety, lol. All he said was they're not as bad as Ethan and Destiny. I don't know why he makes those kind of arguments. The thing about other lefties is they're way too soft. And this is my personal criticism, and it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't see any value of allying with them because they backstab Ilhan Omar all the time. The only good thing Tectone has ever done was lose 2K in gacha trying to get a single item, and that changed Genshin's gacha so that doesn't happen again. Yesterday, he pseudo-defended Pakman by saying he thinks Pakman is a loyal Democrat and anti-Republican who just happens to be pro-Israel, who just so happens to be pro-genocide, and also goes after Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib any chance he gets. You guys don't... Okay, new rule. Just give me a clip of what he said. No more of you guys doing fucking paraphrases of what was said. Show me an actual clip. I don't know if you saw this, chat, but ICE is starting to collect lists of leftists. Just so you should be aware of that. He said Pakman will criticize Israel that BTC cares about democracy. Okay, as I said, stop. Show me the clip. Thank you, Open Presence. I agree. David Pakman's brother went straight from the ADL to lead policy strategist for what is likely the censorship department at Google. I'm sorry, guys, but like, David Pakman does not criticize Israel. In fact, at the beginning of the war, he was trying to call us all anti-Semites for saying that Israel bombed a hospital. Diva, exactly. Diva Iconica. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're right.
Sam Cedar, Emma Vigland on the Majority Report. It is a pleasure to welcome to the program.
This was his actual take, by the way. Chatters lacked listening comprehension. He was saying people like Destiny and Ethan are just breakers who don't care about issues and just want to stir shit. People like Pakman care about liberal democracy. Not that that's a good thing. I still think that's a bad way. If that's what he said, here, okay, thank God.
Like, I'll tell you like this. I think Brian Tyler Cohen cares about American democracy. I think he cares about the liberals and the Democratic Party because he actually wants them to win. I would go so far as to say the same thing about like Midas Touch. He's not like an Ethan Klein. You know what I mean?
Who gives a fuck? Who absolutely gives a fuck? These guys hate us and they want us in prison, and they will 100% work with Republicans to put us in prison. If it looks like the left is going to win power, Brian Tyler Cohen and David Pakman turn us into Trump's ICE. Me and Hassan as individuals, they would help them find us. I want you to understand that. And if you don't believe that, you don't know what reality is.
He's not like a Destiny.
He is a Destiny. He's just a Destiny with better optics. And and how do I know that? I watch their shit. I watch their shit to pay attention to just how far right they are, and they are scum. They only ever talk about the left when it's omega super unavoidably viral already, and they're trying to huff fumes from the algorithm. They legitimately hate the left.
Those guys do care. I think we just have differences in opinion on how that must happen.
It's not, I mean, Hassan's wrong. Hassan's wrong. These people don't have a difference of opinion. They have a financial interest in the status quo, and they would kill us if they could get away with it.
You're not a good judge of character? No, he's like David Pakman is obviously very pro-Israel, right? He is incredibly pro-Israel.
But I'm sorry, but if you're very pro-Israel, you don't care about American democracy, because the number one threat to American democracy is Israel and the Zionist lobby that Pakman is very, very involved with. He doesn't care about American democracy. He cares about the Jewish ethno-supremacist project of Zionism. Like, he doesn't care about American democracy, because if he cared about American democracy, he'd be talking about how we got to purge Zionism from our American political system. He's not a reasonable fascist. He's just a fascist that has good optics. Actually, I'm actually so triggered right now, I might quit stream. Like, this is one of the, I'm so fucking triggered right now, I might actually quit stream. I've never been this triggered about something Hassan said. Like, absolutely not just wrong. I can't believe it. You know what it is? I think he's just not thinking about what Israel means for some reason. I think his mind is focused on eating, because, like, honestly, being pro-Israel while they're exterminating the Palestinians and then claiming you care about democracy is fucking crazy. I think this is going beyond charitability to an outright bad take. This is kind of, I don't know if Hassan knows what he's doing, but he's giving people permission to like them. And these people are our enemies. The Ilhan Omar attacks prove he's not just very pro-Israel, but an actual op. He refused to endorse Bernie Sanders in the 2020 presidential election because of Bernie Sanders' alliances with anti-Zionists. Like, you gotta be serious, man. You gotta be serious right now. David Pakman is our enemy. In fact, he's probably a more dangerous enemy to us than the Republicans are.
Actually care about, like, getting progressives elected. He does actually care about, like,
I wouldn't be surprised if David Pakman doesn't himself try to say that Hassan is anti-Semitic this year. I don't think he watches David Pakman. I don't think he watches David Pakman. I don't think he knows anything about him. If I'm being as charitable as I could be, Ilhan Omar's nonsense tweets. Caller, was Ilhan Omar being deliberately anti-Semitic? Will you downvote completely reasonable conversation? I wonder what this is about.
Okay. Next caller is from the 917 area code. Caller from 917. Who's there? What's on your mind today? 917, you might have us muted. Take us off mute if that's the case. 917, last opportunity. I'm going to have to hang out. There's 917 all of a
Why
sudden.
don't you just edit that part out? It's fucking 20 seconds.
What, did you have us on mute?
Fucking slop tuber, dude.
Sorry, you can hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hi, I'm calling about the Ilhan Omar controversy in particular, and the way in which the progressive media talks about anti-Semitism concerns by the Jewish community in general. I have been, I listen to a lot of the sort of progressive media that you're sort of in that sphere, and there's been this narrative about the concern over Ilhan Omar's comments recently that this is all a smear campaign, that it is rooted, either they say this explicitly or implicitly, in an Islamophobic, attack on who she is. It's sort of part of some like white supremacist, whatever. And listening to that media as somebody who shares the concerns that people have voiced about her comments,
So is this his brother? Like, did he pick a shill to call and say that she's actually anti-Semitic and it's a worthwhile thing? Completely reasonable, by the way. And the answer is yes, I did. I did downvote it. See how I have already thumbed this down because I watched it when it came out 6 years ago. So I've hated David Pakman for 6 fucking years. And if you haven't hated David Pakman, no, I didn't even notice that I already downvoted this shit. How can you ever criticize someone who is Jewish or a lobby group for Israel without me calling it anti-Semite then, especially if money interests are indeed in play? Criticizing a right-wing regime's policies that happens to be Jewish does not equal anti-Semitism. David, as is so often the case, the problem I had was with your emphasis. I'm guessing that criticizing apartheid was considered anti-South African too. What makes this conversation reasonable? Is it the fact that the person calling has a view sympathetic to David's? I'm not sure what David thinks is reasonable. Yeah, David, and by the way, this is him doubling down on Ilhan Omar as an anti-Semite. And I have a video about David Pakman. I'm not going to go and do another David Pakman video. The title sucks, but, it's from we're trying with YouTube. We were trying. We're figuring out that searchability is a good idea. David Pakman is pathetic and obsolete is not a very good title because it doesn't tell you what the video is about, and you would never search that. So it doesn't really give it any legs. But we're learning.
He does actually care about at least like some of the shit that most of the shit that they're talking about.
The only thing David Pakman cares about is Israel and making money off dumb liberals.
Brian Tyler Cohen is like that invested in defending Israel. He just will be quiet about it noticeably.
He's only quiet
as
about
far
it
as,
because
like-
nobody likes it and he would lose his entire audience. If you're being quiet about Israel right now, it's because you support Israel and you understand how unpopular that position is. So the way you're supporting Israel is through subterfuge, meaning you don't say anything about Israel, you get as much influence as you can, and then you backstab the people that do criticize Israel behind closed doors with the power you've accumulated. It's a very standard spy or agent activity. And when you're an agent of a foreign power, that means that you are fucking compromised. They're reading the room. This is a shocking take from Hassan, and this is one of those things that actually makes me super discouraged and fucks my mental. Nothing fucks my mental up more than when my allies are avoiding obvious fucking reality for no reason and actually helping our enemies. It actually fucks my mental so much. These guys have been slandering me and Hassan nonstop behind the scenes, and he's like, they care about liberals.
Like, as far as like the Ethan Kleins or the Destinies of the world, they're pure fucking vindictive. That's it. My point is not to say you should agree with these guys or love these guys or whatever. I don't give a shit if you don't agree with them or not. My point is, like, there's a reason why they shy away from like silly fucking drama and shit. Okay?
They shy away from it because it's going to hurt their audience, because I'm sure there's a bunch of Hassan viewers in their audience. They shy away from it, from doing it explicitly, because they do it privately. David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen tried to promote Destiny throughout his entire time he was slandering me and Hassan. I don't know if Hassan knows that, or if he's just delusional, or what. Or he doesn't care, in which case I would say you should care. You absolutely should care. But hey, what do I know? Oh man, like my energy level is actually crushed right now. Why is the search so dog shit? What the
all of these people, House Freedom Caucus included, predicated so much of their identity on this idea that they were going to...
6 months ago, by the way. That's well after Destiny was exposed as a fucking sex pest.
Stop this existential threat that is overspending and saddling our kids and future generations with all of this interest that...
Did he delete all his Destiny videos? Here he is.
Breaking news, a of people who would watch... the MSNBCs of the world have changed their viewing habits and now consume more of their content on YouTube. And in fact, I think it's actually the opposite. I think that there are a lot of people that exist in my ecosystem where if you don't kind of play into party politics, like if you don't toe the line, that's actually more dangerous. That I think that's the equivalent of what you're talking about when you do. So it's like pretty much completely the inverse.
So I clicked on a thing and he's telling you how you need to toe the party line and that going against Kamala Harris is actually bad for your career. So I guess Destiny was probably trying to attack Hassan or me.
Never understood. And now, so like that's
least like do this. It sure as fuck, it wasn't Alita with the flag flying bullshit. It wasn't Trump with literally fucking anything. Like where are Republicans doing this, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is like, you got to go back to like, I don't know, the McCain or Romney campaigns. Like, I don't know. I mean, not since the Trump era have we seen anything like that, but it's because Democrats allow themselves to be gamed by the refs and the rest of the Republicans. And the media treats the Democrats differently than it treats the Republicans because it's just baked into the cake that Republicans are going to act corruptly. And so the media doesn't bother covering them the same way because it's just expected that they're going to act that way.
Yeah.
And so...
Remember, did you read the Supreme Court decision on the on how like the 14th Amendment is just like it's too confusing, so fuck it, we're just going to get rid of Section 3? I don't know if you followed this at the time, but when that PDF got released, supposedly if you control F, it was either dissenting in part or concurring in part. I think the three liberal justices didn't just have a full concurrence, and they fucking changed it when they published the opinion to make all of it a concurrence in part because they all felt like it was important to show unity when we say that actually if you try to coup the government and come back, because we care about this country so much, we're going to let you have another run at it. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just, Democrats just allow, like...
Okay, I'm sorry, Chad. I don't care enough. I thought they were gonna make a point, and I don't care enough. But look at all the Destiny Brian Tyler Cohen content. So the only Brian Tyler Cohen only ended his Destiny collabs because of the sex pest shit. If you look at David Pakman and Destiny and David Pakman clash in Rittenhouse debate. Destiny versus Dennis Prager explodes. Conspiracy brain. Are you autistic? Jank explodes versus Destiny. You represent the loser wing. Jank was right. Destiny reacts to crazy debates and getting attacked by the left. Hassan, are you okay, man? Are you okay? Like, what's going on, bro? David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen are literally Destiny friends. And they were promoting him as hard as they could a year ago. And it was only the fact that he got sued for revenge porn that made them stop. Like, come on, man. Please.
The supposed Alex Paredes video is confirmed to be AI.
Okay.
It's not. It's not AI.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry, Chad. It's just I can't even get my allies to fight back against their enemies or even recognize them.
Congressman, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you. Welcome to Minneapolis.
How are you doing after last night?
I'm doing okay.
Can you take us through what happened in your head at that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I arrived at my town hall just a little after it started, and
He never said liberals were allies. He literally spent so much time pointing out the hypocrisy of liberals. You need to be somewhat charitable. I think what I'm trying to say is in the online space, there is a conspiracy to slander me and Hassan. And in fact, slandering Hassan and being an alternative to him by destroying him is exactly the point of Chorus. The reason why Chorus exists is because the billionaire class is trying to destroy Hassan. And two of the biggest perpetrators of that effort, he's going soft as baby shit on. And I don't know if he's delusional or he just doesn't want to believe it or it's too much stress, but that is crazy and it's pissing me off. I don't know what do you want me to say? You want me to lie? Like, they are literally paid shills of our enemies and they want us to die so that they can get you to vote for Gavin Newsom or whatever disgusting Zionist shill they're going to go all in for. They're not our friends. They don't promote us. They're not positive towards us. They call us anti-Semitic. They call Ilhan Omar anti-Semitic. They call Rashida Tlaib anti-Semitic. They slander or don't talk about the pro-Palestine movement. If Hassan goes aggro, then they can go aggro. If he doesn't, then they can't slander him as hard. And if they do, it looks bad for them. I see his angle. It's one thing to do that with somebody like Pod Save America, who are elevating Hassan and promoting Hassan and bringing Hassan in to have conversations with and disagreeing with him ideologically, but nonetheless treating him as like a valuable member of the left online. That's Pod Save America. I don't get mad about talking about Pod Save America. I recognize them as ideological opponents. If they're willing to use their platform to help promote you and legitimize you, I let it go because it's not that important to me to purge every liberal at all times. However, Brian Tyler Cohen and David Pakman are Zionist shills that look to destroy you. Do you understand the difference? And he should just say that about them and be like, these guys are really pro-Israel Zionists and they want us destroyed. Like, just speak the truth. Speak the truth. Maybe he doesn't agree with me that they are that way, but I'm sorry, man.
I got on the podium to introduce local reps who...
They all went after Taylor Lorenz viciously because she exposed their little shill program to get billion-dollar donors. Because guess what? They don't have any fans. They're an anti-democratic project. Do you understand why Chorus exists? Chorus exists because they don't have any natural fans. They don't have organic reach. So they need to get boosted by the centrist billionaires in order to create a cacophony that shuts down organic left-wing politics. Do you not understand? That's the whole point. The whole point is to make social media toxic to the left. They're an Ellison project. Are you like, come on? They're being set up to help promote a second Red Scare. I can't believe I even have to say this shit. It's so obvious.
Usually come to my town hall to give local updates. You know, as you know, we do monthly town halls.
You do one every month,
One every
right?
month
Yeah.
since I've been elected. And then, you know, I went into my own updates of what has been happening. And I remember seeing someone say something close. I was reading, so I wasn't like
looking,
you know,
out,
at that
Why
moment.
is the volume on this so low?
I remember feeling
Christ.
like someone was saying something close to me, and I looked up, and there was a man plunging towards.
Nice, Nick. How'd that go?
And there was like some liquid thing that I, at the moment, thought it was like a, and so I, you know, instinctively tried to like punch him basically for trying to spit on me.
You thought he was spitting on you?
Yes, because there's some liquid that hit my folder and the podium.
And by the way, chat, I love Hassan. I'm not saying this because I'm not. It's not that I hate Hassan or anything. It's just like these people are setting him up for a fall. They're planting their daggers. You know, they're setting up ambushes. Like, these people hate him and they're trying to destroy him. And it's so frustrating when he's basically letting his audience sleepwalk into supporting these guys. It's just like how Bernie and AOC were all charitable with Biden when Biden was literally trying to investigate Ilhan Omar on made up charges, which is exactly what I predicted would happen. And it's just so frustrating that like these people are like calling us anti-Semitic. And like, I get that, you know, I don't want to fight everybody either, but like, come on, man.
And then I could feel maybe something.
Listen, I don't, we have to have maybe a tough conversation here. I don't really think it should be tough. I think it should be informative. I am worried that there are young people. I don't know that I don't want to say young voters because I don't know if they're going to vote. But it seems as though there are a bunch of young people that are getting sucked in to wrongly thinking that there's no difference between Trump and Biden. And we saw how dangerous this was in 2016. People who said, Hillary, Trump, they're both sides of the same coin, establishment, whatever, elites. I don't care who wins. Well, Trump won, got 3 Supreme Court picks. Now we've got no more Roe v. Wade, right? The impact was very, very real. And so I'm going to give you an example of something that there's a streamer who goes by the name. Some people know him by Hassan Piker. Some know him by Hassan Abi. Others know him as Hassan Destiny Piker II. Who knows what his name is at this point? And he put out an excretion on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, in response to the news about the forthcoming debates between Trump and Biden, where he said sarcastically, I, for one, am excited to watch 2 80-plus-year-old men yap about a bunch of issues they almost completely align on with regard to policy while acting as though they're miles apart from one another. Now, listen, I like Hassan to the extent that we used to be in touch. He doesn't return my calls anymore. He's too big for me now. That's, by the way, it's very true. But I think that this narrative is very dangerous. And I think Hassan apparently has people in his audience who believe this stuff. It is of critical importance to understand that Trump and Biden are miles apart from each other on so many critical issues. I will get to the similarities
Mention
in a moment.
Destiny, by the way.
But we need to make sure young people, who, by the way, I don't even know if they vote. It's not even clear that they're going to vote. But they really need to understand what's at stake.
Yeah, they didn't vote because of the genocide you support, you fucking Zionist.
I'll give you some examples. Trump attempted to overturn the 2020 election results and become president despite losing. Biden respects the democratic process and the outcome. That is not a small difference. And however many right-wing or far left-wing people want to convince you that, he would have loved to become president even though he lost, but he didn't really do that much wrong. This is a critical difference between Trump and Biden. Trump supports stripping bodily autonomy from women. Biden doesn't support.
I think one of the things that's really important to understand is that Joe Biden had the ability to grant bodily autonomy for women, but he decided that it was more important to protect the power of Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. Okay, I want you to understand that. He didn't want to put pressure on Joe Biden, didn't want to put pressure on Kyrsten Sinema or Joe Manchin, which then led to, so he may in his mind think abortion should be legal or whatever the fuck. He didn't use his power when he had it. He didn't put Trump in prison for doing January 6th. You know, you can't say January 6th is a fascist coup and then Joe Biden doesn't do anything about it. See, that's the contradiction between David Pakman, his beliefs, and the actual liberals that we really have. Joe Biden acted like David Pakman says that he acts, that I would support Joe Biden, but he doesn't. He spent all his political capital supporting Israel, which you didn't mention because you're a supporter of the genocide, you fucking Zionist.
That's a big difference. Trump supports taking away the health insurance of tens of millions of people. He tried to do it when he was president. Biden doesn't support that. That's a big difference. Trump wants to round up immigrants, put them in camps, and do expedited deportations, even ignoring legitimate asylum claims. Biden doesn't want to do that. That's a major difference.
I think the big problem that we have here is this was right before the first debate. And I do something that David Pakman didn't do. I actually watch Joe Biden speak. I watched almost every single time Joe Biden did I at least watched part of it during almost the entire presidency. And it was clear to me from about 6 months in his first term that he was mentally unfit to be president. That's why I called for him to drop out in 2023. I was told that was impossible until it happened. Except it happened so late, so there would be a primary. Why did it happen so late so there would be a primary? Because they were worried that an anti-Zionist would win. So they basically fumbled the election to Trump to protect Israel. That's you, David.
Trump supports the speedy execution of drug dealers after China-style
sham trials. China style. You mean Israel style, you fucking Zionist?
Sham trials. Joe Biden doesn't do that. He doesn't want to do that. He respects due process and the rule of law. Trump wants to withdraw from NATO, maybe form an alliance with Russia, and say, I don't care about any of our global responsibilities. Biden doesn't want to do that. That's a big difference. Trump would let Gaza be destroyed and everyone in Gaza be killed, whereas Biden has urged restraint to Benjamin Netanyahu and has even said, if you do X, we're going to cut the military aid. That's a big difference. Trump downplays climate change and wants to roll back environmental regulation. Biden acknowledges climate change and supports environmental protections. That's a major difference. Trump enacted tax cuts primarily benefiting
Do I even need to speak?
The wealthy and big corporations. Biden supports a tax policy that would benefit middle and lower class folks. Trump promotes deregulation of industries, letting them do whatever they want financially or environmentally. Biden supports regulating businesses to protect consumers and the environment. That's a big difference.
I think one of the things about the way David Pakman does his sophistry, sorry, not solipsism. He's a solipsist, but he does his sophistry by, how do I put this? He obscures through non-specifics. Joe Biden approved an oil export terminal that would do more pollution than 90 coal plants. Environmentalist protest. Biden administration approves huge oil export terminal off Texas coast. In a move that environmentalists called a betrayal, the Biden administration has approved the construction of a deep water oil export terminal off the Texas coast that would be the largest of its kind in the United States. The Seaport Oil Terminal being developed off Freeport, Texas, will be able to load 2 super tankers at once with an export capacity of 2 million barrels of crude oil per day. Environmentalists denounced the license approval, saying it contradicted President Joe Biden's climate agenda and would lead to disastrous planet-warming greenhouse gas emissions equivalent to nearly 90 coal-fired power plants. The action could jeopardize Biden's support from environmental allies and young voters already disenchanted by the Democratic administration's approval last year of the massive Willow Oil project in Alaska. Nothing about this project is in alignment with President Biden's climate and environmental justice goals, except it is, because he did it. All I'm trying to let you know is that David Pakman likes to lie for the Democrats, and he likes to slander those of us who criticize the policies, like, honestly. All right, chat, breaking news. Another Erica Kirk call leaks. Does she have a K? How does she spell Erica? Oh, God, it has a K in it. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's... Be right back.
All right, you guys, welcome back to Season 9, Episode 2 of Everybody Grieves Differently. I'm your host. That's what we're told, at least. You know, in retrospect, we should have probably saw that for what it was, recognized that expression for what it was, another well-financed PR campaign against people for asking meaningful questions, shaming people. Now, you might be surprised then to learn who actually uttered that expression first over at Turning Point USA, before Charlie's memorial, in a corporate-wide phone call, which took place, or Zoom call rather, just 5.5 days after Charlie's assassination. And speaking of different ways to grieve, the now former CEO of Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, is back, trying to make a comeback, to reclaim his name in the press after he ran the company into the ground with his petty grievances and personal passion projects. And like everyone in the mainstream media, he appears to be auditioning for a role at AIPAC in the very tried and true manner of publicly attacking Tucker Carlson and yours truly, correlating us to Antifa thugs, and also this show to pornography. Welcome back to Candace.
The grifters are fighting. We love it, dude. I can't believe Mike turned on Candace and ran away. I had to do something really quick. Sorry.
All right, you guys, first and foremost, a major correction from yesterday. Thank you to people in Iowa for messaging me. We made a mistake and showed you.
As somebody with long hair, the way that her hair is so perfectly straight with no fucking flyaways at all, that takes a lot of effort. That's crazy.
A picture of a man that is actually not named Bob Flood at all. His name was actually Bob Ferguson. He's from Iowa. He has nothing to do with the story. It was genuinely a full-blown mistake. I've actually reached out to him, and I just deeply apologize. We wiped it from the episode, but many of you saw it before we actually did. So I just wanted to clarify that picture that we showed yesterday of Bob Flood from Chicago was not Bob Flood from Chicago. It was a man
Mike
named
never heard of a silk press. I have heard of it.
Bob Ferguson from Iowa, who literally had nothing to do with anything. So my apologies to Bob Ferguson. Hopefully we will get in touch. I'm kind of...
Candace Owens is one of the scariest people on the planet because you can like look at her and it's like, is there something going on back behind her eye? It's like, she makes me believe in like, what is it, homunculi? She has an uncanny valley affect about her that is just so off-putting.
Using some back channels to make that happen. Anyway, back to today. They say hindsight is 2020, right? That's the expression. Hindsight is 2020. And damn, if we...
One of the things that's really funny is as much as she's accusing Erica Kirk of farming Charlie's death, she's also farming the fuck out of Charlie's death. That's the thing that makes this so funny.
We are not realizing that right now. I can say with full confidence, after combining what we have learned throughout this investigation to be a fact, and after now speaking with employees who were let go in this recent string of aggressive firings, employees that did nothing or weren't told that they did anything. They certainly were not the people that were leaking to me, that I do believe firmly from the beginning that Erica was intimately involved in the PR messaging and the PR campaign, different times against me, sometimes against the entire world, but against me in particular. Just to recap why this is now suddenly important, no one's picking on her. We have confirmed for a fact that she lied. She lied to my face, actually, regarding the Superman neck. She blamed that on Andrew Colvett, said that he went rogue, that Dr. Lee Trotter also went rogue, violated HIPAA, that they hopped on the phone and did this without her consent or knowledge. Then on top of that, Andrew then sends out a tweet. I told you, confirmed to you, the doctor did not violate HIPAA. It was actually a three-way call. And the statement pertaining to Superman neck came from her. Andrew Colvett, in that regard, was doing Erica's bidding. He was taking a figurative bullet for her. She did not misspeak there. There's no way to look around it. She lied. She lied right to my face when she said that. She knew that HIPAA, he didn't violate HIPAA. She lied to a doctor, a surgeon, and she knew that she was on that call. So let's just say that clearly. We've also now confirmed that she was at the Hamptons retreat, the now infamous Hamptons retreat. She was present when Bibi Netanyahu called. And that bothers me because I was out here catching a lot of heat for telling the truth. Now, we have two different versions of that story. Andrew Colvett said that Bibi offered to fund Turning Point to the next level. I have since confirmed what Andrew Colvett said with two people that are not related to Andrew Colvett at all. Erica, despite being at that dinner and confirming that she was there, does not remember that part. She says that there was not an offer that was made and that Bibi was calling about the letter that Charlie wrote him back in May. Andrew confirmed to me that Charlie described that summit as like an intervention was being staged over Israel. So I find that to be interesting. Again, with everything that we now know, my assumption was she didn't wade into things, didn't wade into the water, and didn't say anything about the debate that was happening because she was so overwhelmed and kind of catching her breath as the new CEO and chairman. I think now I have a different perspective on that. I'm not sure why she did not come out and say, if she was capable of doing calls and sitting down and doing meetings, come out and say, like, yes, this Hampton summit did happen. Yes, Bibi did call, and try to work through.
Okay, chat. Jesus fucking Christ. This is so long. Holy fuck. I just want the call. I don't give a shit about her. Yes, there's a Hamptons call. Bibi Netanyahu and Israel have been trying to pressure. They're trying to pressure them to come out more against the anti-Zionist right. The anti-Semitic right.
Brief. So I'm going to allow you guys to watch this for 5 minutes.
Had private conversations with him. I want you all to hold on to those. And I want you all to remember those so deeply. I want you to journal about them. I want you to be able to tell your kids about them. I want you to hold those in your heart as why you're still here with the Turning Point USA family, because that's what we want. And like I said to our small group after whatever day that was that I did the thing on TV. Half my days are still around Good Friday. I told the team, I said, Turning Point USA will continue like my husband always wanted, and it'll be bigger than ever. And we're going to honor him by doing that. We're going to stay humble. We're going to work hard because that's what he would want. And we're going to just make it grow. And we're going to keep our eyes fixed on heaven. And, you know, like even Stacey said, he's going to find ways to speak to us. And he's going to speak to you in different ways. Every person's going to be different. But you'll get little moments where you're like, okay, Charlie, I see you. It might be here on campus. It might be in quiet moments of the night. But he's here, and he's more alive than ever. And he is, he's going to guide us. And we just have to remain humble.
I have to say that this is not a good look for Clandis. This looks like a much more normal kind of like grieving that you would see. Like I don't think this is a good leak for Clandis because unless she starts getting real weird, this is the most human she's looked so far.
But again, what I told the team was, I will fight like hell to make sure that all of you have a job here. I don't want anyone to think the job's in jeopardy because your family, if you choose to leave, that's different. I never will. And I promise you, I will make sure that I never allow a point to where you have to leave because we cannot financially afford you. And that is a promise. I want our family to stay together the best it can. Obviously, circumstances, you know, there's unforeseen things that might pop up here and there that we can't foresee in the future. But for right now, the way things are, I would like to remain if they are status quo. And I think that's the best thing to do. And everything else we can worry about later. But I just want to let you know that you guys are all very loved. I'm very proud of you. And Charlie would be, I think Charlie's just, I'm trying not to say that he's obviously celebrating in heaven amongst so many things, but he's so proud of all of you. And he's so proud of all of you for keeping this mission alive. And he knows that you can do it. That's why you're hired. And he knows that you will be able to carry the torch. And he knows that you're going to do a great job. And you're going to be able to, even though days are going to be tough, honestly, the nights are the hardest. Mornings are pretty raw too. But just what I've noticed these past several days is if I didn't have the Turning Point USA family with me, all of you, I would be a disaster. I mean, I would be in fetal position 24/7. But the fact that we have a continued mission to look forward to, and we have our family, it's everything. And some of you, this is your chosen family. And just rely and lean on each other. That's huge. Leaning on each other is huge because all of you were together prior to this and we'll be together after this. And everything, and I told Justin, it's going to be something where everything before September 10th, any email you were working on, any project you were working on, it's not that it's irrelevant now. It's just things have changed, obviously. And the mission has gotten deeper and the mission will grow deeper. But like, I just want all of you to know, we will be wise stewards. We will be vigilant. We will be humble. And I just want you to know that, again, I'm with you. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. And we're going to make sure that we honor my husband so well that this whole world knows what his vision was and will be. And it's just, I feel so blessed and honored.
Blessed and honored. That is crazy work as adjectives. I don't know. That's crazy work. That is like, I couldn't, blessed and honored to be the CEO and to be telling you guys that you're a family. And I want you to see this because we've spoken about this, the Moonies cult, and these people that are leaving are like, it was just like a cult. Like basically she's saying this, she's calling you a family. She promises them. That's why it's important you have to hold this to the fire. You're not a CEO. You promise these kids that if they are going to work harder, you're in this family, your jobs are safe. Actually, that's what makes her cry. Saying your jobs are, that's when she breaks, right? When she says, it's so important that you know your jobs are good. Like I feel emotionally attached to you guys working for me. And then you attach that to what we showed you of a young woman who, like I said, everything, she never leaked anything. She never spoke to me, nothing, gets fired. And for asking a simple question, like literally, why am I fired? We've been working like 25 hours, just get out. get out. There's security there. That's it. We're moving in a different direction. That is not okay. Okay, you're not allowed to say everybody grieves differently, so I don't have to answer any questions about that. And guys, we're going to bring in the beginning too, because I want you to watch the beginning of this so you can see the full thing, because we don't need to strip anything, because she starts by laughing, which I find to be interesting. But I do want to let you know that we are having some buffering issues. We still have major blackouts in Nashville, so we're doing our best here. If you have some connectivity issues, just know that that's the reason why. Here's the beginning of that call.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, look at all the thumbs up. Look how cute that is. Sorry, this is a little bit more informal than probably Charlie would be reacting. How sweet. I didn't know they could do that. I hate Zoom. I never liked Zoom. Sorry, you guys. I just wanted to say first and foremost, my heart obviously is broken for you guys as much as it is for our family. You guys lost not only a boss, but someone that you looked up to, someone that you believed in his mission, that you also that you loved. You loved listening to his show. You loved hearing his wisdom on things. I'm sure some of you have also had very personal moments of where you sat down and
Yep. So that's the beginning, just so you have that in its full context. Now, like I said, this is something. It's definitely something. It feels to me a bit like the psychological phenomenon known as trauma bonding, right? They had just suffered a very real trauma. That's not a trauma that most people go through in their entire lives. You sign up for a company. Charlie Kirk is the leader of that company. You sign up, majority of these people, to work for this organization because they believe in Charlie Kirk. They believe in what he is doing on college campuses. And then you watch him get live assassinated. And now management is going to try to establish your loyalty using all sorts of tactics, but essentially what they're creating here is an emotional dependence, right? We are a family. We have lived through this. This is a family. And very well may not have been Erica's intent, but hearing her sound like she's about to cry when she discusses specifically them keeping their jobs, not Charlie, but Charlie having been assassinated in front of the world, but the prospect of their employment, we do not have to imagine if she meant that sincerely, because she didn't. She did not mean that sincerely. After working them all like horses, wrapping them in this way, she's going to fire a boatload of them without cause or even conversation. That's actually traumatic. See it from the employee's viewpoint. For those of you wondering, they just must feel like they just got punched in the face. You had to watch him die. Then you get brought in on this emotional, we're a family, I never would do this. And it's like, get out, don't let the door hit you on the way back. Yeah, we raised $250 million, you're not even going to get a bonus. Now we're going to keep letting this play out because you are going to hear her actually be the first person to say an expression that has been used a lot. She's going to remind people that everybody grieves differently. 5.5 days after Charlie was announced dead at the hospital. Take a listen.
And we will do our best to continue to make Turning Point USA the...
Okay, I'm going to call it here, chat, because I personally think this is the dumbest L that Candace Owens has ever taken, because I don't know about you, but like, this is the most humanizing of Erica that has happened since the assassination. This is the spouse of a person who was killed going to the employees that depend upon that. Now they're working at the evil lying factory, but this is actually making Erica Kirk look decent. Like, I'm sorry, but like, what? We're going to stay humble, then put fireworks in their event. I mean, like, okay. She's obviously getting every last drop out of Charlie. You know who else got every last drop out of Charlie? Oh, never mind. All right, chat. I want to go back to Ilhan Omar speaking out about her town hall attack, because that's actual shit that matters. And what concerns me is, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I didn't even cover it because I didn't even hear about it. Maxwell Frost also got attacked, but the mainstream media did not care at all. It barely got any coverage. Look at this 25-second coverage in Florida.
Is facing multiple charges after police say he assaulted. The incident happened Friday night at a private party during the Sundance film in Utah. Police say the suspect punched the congressman in the face, then shouted that Trump was going to deport him. Investigators say the man also grabbed a woman during this incident. He is now facing several charges.
Look, this has 9,000 views. Like, 9,000 views? Really? That low? Mike, watch this Hassan and Omar YouTube short first. Okay.
You talk about being a scrapper.
Okay.
You would fight.
Yeah.
I'm talking about full fisticuffs.
Yeah.
What's your record? I'm talking knockouts, TKOs.
Undefeated, I would say.
Undefeated?
Yeah.
How many total fights have you been in?
I would say like dozens. I was a very like tiny kid.
Yes.
And people would try me.
Okay.
But I hated bullies. And so I was like quick to punch someone if, you know, I thought they were bullying me or bullying someone else. I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me. I'm built that way.
And I do think she's an incredible badass. I think she's an incredible badass. But I also think that people are not recognizing that this was a successful attack.
It was at a separate town hall in Minnesota last night where this moment happened to Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. She was speaking when a man charged her at the lectern, and forensic examiners have now determined with high probability, they say, that what was in that syringe that the man was holding was apple cider vinegar. The 55-year-old man has been charged with assault in the 3rd degree, and I should note Capitol Police are also looking into pursuing potential federal charges against him tonight, which could include assaulting a member of Congress and impeding her from doing her official duties. The president, who last night in the hours before this attack had been criticizing the Congresswoman, was asked about it in an interview with ABC News, where he told them that he doesn't think about her and called her a fraud. As he said, quote, she probably had herself sprayed. And Congresswoman Ilhan Omar joins me now. And I want to get to what the president said in a moment. But just first off, watching this last night, when this man charged you, you initially went after him and raised your fist in that moment. That was your first reaction. What would have happened, do you think, if you had gotten to him before your security?
Well, I'm fortunate I didn't get to him because I'd probably be catching charges as well.
Why would you be catching charges? Why would you be catching charges? You'd be, as long as you're apprehending the guy, he assaulted you with an unknown substance. You ain't catching charges, but I get the joke. I get it's a joke, but
Just that moment, that instinct.
No.
And I should note, we are so grateful that you're.
the problem is that people take jokes. This is something that I've noticed in my life. People take jokes and then they start repeating them like they're true. And so now I have to autistically correct it and be like, no. If you see someone assaulting a politician or going, stomp them until they are apprehended.
Okay. Obviously, we checked in with you and your team last night. I know you were dealing with the aftermath of this. You continued your town hall. They wanted you to go get checked out. You said no, you wanted to finish speaking. Why was that important for you?
Well, I realized a long time ago that whether it is the president's dangerous rhetoric, whether it is the death threats that I get, whether it is the right-wing vitriol, or this man attacking me last night, their ultimate goal is to stop me from being a public servant, from serving my constituents with the dignity and the honor that they deserve.
Successful in what sense? This dude cowered after she came after him with this fist race. This is a real-life example of the cowardice of fascists that face the people who stand up. Because if he had put acid in there or he had put some sort of poisonous agent, she would have been killed or injured severely. It was a symbolic attack demonstrating the permeability of her security. It helps motivate other attackers. That's why I call it a successful attack. So, you get what I mean?
And last night, I was carrying out a promise I made to my constituents that I would hold a town hall every single month and be able to give them feedback on what I've been doing in Washington, D.C., and be able to answer their questions. And so it was really important for me in that moment to not allow this person intimidate me into running out of that room and canceling that town hall. My constituents deserve to have their congresswoman continue to do the work that they elected her to do. And that is my promise, and I will continue to do that.
I mean, and you are someone, you and I have spoken about this before, you have faced a lot of threats. I mean, what was going through your mind in that moment? It must have been scary as well.
Well, I initially thought that the person spit on me. I saw, some liquids that landed on the podium and on some of the papers that I was reading my report from. And so, it was human reaction to want do something to someone that is trying to degrade you in that kind of way, because I've never been able to back down to cowards who act in ways that are disgusting in society.
And it was disgusting and cowardly, obviously, and he is now.
I frequently think about how you said left-wingers have weak security because they think they're doing good. Right-wingers have insane security because they know they're doing bad. Correct. That is, I was spitting when I said that. And the problem is that there's a lot of crazy people. There's a lot of people that are fooled. And so it's like me. I know in my heart that I'm dedicated and focused on doing good, right? I know that in my heart. I know that is my attitude. I know that is my effort, right? So somebody coming at me and thinking I'm trying to do harm or that I believe some sort of like bad thing, it's like, what? What are you talking about? And in order to stay that belief, they have they have an idea of me that's not related to who I actually am.
Charges, potentially federal charges from Capitol Police, and
they're supposed to take him into federal custody tomorrow, so charges should be coming.
Was the Trump air attack successful? No, because the goal was to kill Trump. However, it was successful at penetrating Trump's security. So, and this guy, his goal was to spray Ilhan Omar with a substance, and he succeeded in that.
At some point tomorrow is my understanding.
Was he known to your team before this? Had he been on any kind of radar of y'all's or anything?
No, I don't think any of us have had a personal interaction with him. He wasn't flagged in the system when we'd asked our team to look to see. I don't think it is not my belief, although we continue to dig into it, that he's attended a previous town hall of mine.
And as obviously we've seen his past political post and what he himself has said. I mentioned the president's response where he told ABC News just a few hours after this happened, she probably had herself sprayed, knowing her. Before you respond, I do want to remind everyone that when President Trump was nearly assassinated, you responded and said, we condemn acts of violence and pray for the victims, make calmness and decency prevail. And you said it was sad to hear the tragedy that had occurred. What went through your mind when you heard the president's response last night?
Well, the difference between the president and I is that I was raised to be a decent human being, and my faith teaches me to have compassion, and he lacks both of those things. This is a president who presides over an administration that when they assassinated Renee Good, told us that she was a domestic terrorist that was trying to kill the federal agents. When they assassinated Alex Preddy, they told us that he was a domestic terrorist who burnished a weapon. None of those things are true. They are known to be liars. They have constantly told us not to believe in our eyes. Fortunately, both of those assassinations were caught on camera, and so was what happened to me.
I thought for sure there would be some sort of alcohol or pork juice in the syringe because Islam. ACV is just apple cider vinegar is a confusing choice because that would have to have been just to prove a point. It was to create an acidic smell, so to scare her, because many women have been maimed by acid attacks. Assad looks different in this interview. Oh yeah, we're gonna bring up Hassan's interview of her.
So when he claims it's staged, you say?
Well, I mean, this is also somebody who was talking about me in his town hall in Iowa, and then seems to exhibit some sort of dementia when he says he doesn't think about me. Maybe it is time for us for the 25th Amendment to be invoked, because he certainly cannot remember what he said and has done an hour ago.
He was just posting about you, truly 5 minutes ago, before we came on air. I was looking at Truth Social, and he had posted about you, and it reminded me of what he said when he announced that he was sending Tom Homan into Minneapolis. In that same post, he said, the Justice Department and Congress are looking at Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who left Somalia with nothing and is now reportedly worth more than $44 million. Time will tell all. Were you aware there is a DOJ investigation here? The New York Times says it started in part under the Biden Justice Department into your financial disclosure forms, or into your finances and campaign spending. But were you aware that this Justice Department is looking into you?
By the way, chat, I had a debate with Sam Cedar in 2020, where I said, the problem with voting for Joe Biden is that when he goes into office, he's going to spend all his effort on destroying and stopping the progressive left. And that's exactly what happened. And it ended up with us having Donald Trump back in office, which is exactly what I was worried about. I didn't think Joe Biden would win in 2020, back in 2019. And then COVID happened, and that was enough to like scare people and go, okay, we should get rid of this incompetent dipshit because there's a pandemic and he's dumb as fuck. And people were scared. So Joe Biden barely won because of that. But basically everything else, I mean, I didn't see the global pandemic coming in 2019. So whoopsie doopsie, I missed that. Why hasn't Sam Cedar publicly apologized to you for how wrong he was? It's okay, man. It's okay. I don't need Sam Cedar to apologize. But the point is, like, I've said this over and over and over again. The main problem that we have is the Democratic Party, not the Republican Party. The Republican Party represents tiny minority of this country. The problem is we don't have an opposition that wants to represent a majority.
No, but I'm not surprised. Over the years, there have been investigations with the FEC because people have filed complaints. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened in this case. And clearly, that investigation hasn't moved on because they don't have evidence of wrongdoing. And so I know that there's always been an attempt to smear my character, to smear the character of the community that I ethnically belong to. There's always this sort of sad reference to the fact that I'm a refugee. It seems like these people seem to have a problem with the fact that I am living the American dream. Yes, I was once a refugee. Yes, I did survive war. Yes, I did come to the United States when I was 12 years old, not speaking English. But I did make it to the United States of Congress, representing our country, helping write the laws of this country and helping appropriate the resources that are utilized by all Americans. So yes, that is the American dream. They do not believe that the American dream is possible. And I think the fact that I'm a visible representation of that American dream.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, thank you for joining us tonight. And we are so glad that you're safe after what happened last. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What is progressive about being a genocider? He absolutely isn't progressive. He visited, Reverend Canto says, he visited striking workers once and people were like, the most progressive president ever, which is sadly kind of, no, he's not. He wasn't the most progressive ever. I mean, it depends on how you define things, right? For me, I determine if someone is progressive or not based on where do they sit in relation to all the other politicians at that time. So if you look at somebody like, I'll give you an example. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was solidly left-wing compared to the majority of politicians at the time of his election. He was in favor of a progressive abolitionist program that was changing America, that was changing the status quo of America in a progressive direction. Therefore, he was more progressive than the people that were also in politics at the time. Now, is he progressive compared to today? No, he's not. Obviously, we're a lot more progressive now in 2026 than he was in 1865. Similarly with FDR. FDR was significantly progressive compared to politics and politicians at the time, thereby making him very progressive. And if you look at his second Bill of Rights that he ran on in 1944, that is significantly to the left of almost the entire Democratic Party today. There's only like probably about 50 Democrats that are to the left of FDR's second Bill of Rights. FDR was forced to do what he did by a robust working class movement, nothing to do with whether he is progressive or not. I think one of the things that is difficult about talking about history is that Marx had a term for people that talk like you do, which is they're overly mechanistically materialist in the sense that ideas matter. The individuals that make it are in positions of power, and their individual personalities and their conscientiousness and their openness to reason and their openness to pressure and just their way of being affects how things come out. It isn't just like there is a working class movement, therefore FDR, didn't do anything. And it's like, that's excessively mechanistic. And it's going to leave you in a really bad place and actually achieving change. New Gatsu video, modern gambling. Okay, let's watch this. Talk like I do? No, not like you. To the chatter who is saying that FDR is not progressive and he was made to do it by a working class movement.
No, I mean,
and it's like, I don't know why people comment. Like, I don't know why people say shit. I'm already on the verge of crashing out today, and I don't want to crash out. I'm already on the verge of crashing out. So I'm trying not to crash out. But then I think about the way people talk about history, and I know for a fact they don't know what the fuck they're talking about even a little bit. And it makes me kind of like, it's fucking with my mental, guys. You guys have officially fucked with my mental today. I'm thrown off. It's pretty hard. But you managed it.
Everyone can live however they want. I just don't like the concept of poly. Like, I think it's weird. Now they're making a whole market of these people. Looking at news in 2026 is like Five Nights at Freddy's. Every day's a nightmare with it. But don't worry, now you have the opportunity to bet your hard-earned money on what events will transpire. And the best part is, it's just like a normal casino. It's rigged and the house always wins. Polysexual market allows you to bet your money on anything in the world, basically. Such as USA will strike Iran by this date, who will win this war, sports, who will be the next president, and everything. But this entire concept and no regulation leads it to being extremely vulnerable to insider trading, where someone knows some classified information, they bet on it, and then they make a bunch of money. These services feel like they were made to piss specifically me off. It's like turning on the TV, them saying, hey, fuck this dude, and them having like your...
I love Polymarket because it basically creates incentives for people to make unlikely events occur against their own personal interest in order to win a bet. Really cool stuff.
Picture. That's low-key what Keir Starmer is doing with my friend Geopold, man. They're taxing the fuck out of him, guys. You please send over some support to him, because there are three things I hate: corruption, gambling, and corrupted politicians. There are people betting money on what words Trump will say. I think the rising popularity of gambling just goes to show the economic decline of the world. You can call it a prediction market all you want. Casinos are just a prediction market with a 99% probability of you getting fucked. Before this, gambling used to mostly be popular in Eastern Bloc countries, or generally countries where people are known to be poor because it's marketed as an easy way to get rich, where all you have to do is get a bit lucky. I don't know if you guys know where I'm from, but people in my region like to gamble a lot, and I think gambling is the worst thing a human can do to themselves and their family. Genuinely, being a heroin addict is much better than being a gambling addict, because with heroin, at least you get to have some fun, man. And believe it or not, it's cheaper and safer. I also want to thank the sponsor of this video, CyberGhost VPN, with over 38 million users and 20,000
fucking VPNs, man.
Excellent Trustpilot reviews. CyberGhost is massive. It's basically the entire population of Canada and California trusting them. In an era where privacy is being cooked by companies and countries, don't rely on incognito mode. It does nothing. It's basically just a dark mode for the browser. Your service provider, school, or work IT department can still track everything. CyberGhost solved this by encrypting and rerouting your traffic through secure servers in over 100 locations. Beyond privacy, it also unlocks restricted content on 40 plus platforms like Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime. You know, British people can't boon. It also solves the problem of worldwide censorship on the web. There are people relying on VPNs daily to access free information now because a lot of countries restrict information.
I hate ads.
VPN for sponsoring.
I hate ads. I fucking hate ads. There's something truly despicable about advertising. Like, I know that we are not obviously we're not omniscient. We don't know everything, and being aware of an option is necessary before we're able to make that selection or make that choice. But I, honest to God, fucking hate ads. I wish that we could create a government department of product evaluation and review that hired a bunch of like experts, and it'd be like they would actually test the products, and like there would be a report put out. Like, I would, you know, like Consumer Reports, but even more professionalized with even more money. And I want to have like each company to have like all the fucking crimes they committed, like have it be very accessible so we could really make choices between companies, and we could really evaluate Like, is this company doing a lot of markup? Am I making, like, I need something to help with the information problem because advertising is so fucking toxic and I hate it so fucking much. Former ad exec here, advertising is pure evil, an insidious mechanism to deliver an insatiable desire. Why is my nose so itchy today? God. Directly to your brain using every psychological trick possible. Yeah, I fucking hate
this
it.
video. Gambling has ruined families for thousands of years, and anything even remotely resembling gambling is horrible for society. The house always wins. You are reeled in with the promise of quick and easy money. All you have to do is get lucky, but then you've lost all your assets. Your wife breaks up with you because you're a fucking idiot who spent the kids' education money on shiny slots, and you have a loan with the bank and the mafia. At which point, you can't even focus on life anymore because you're thinking, man, I need to pay back my gambling loans. And then you know what these people do? They gamble more just in case they get lucky and are able to pay off their loans they got from gambling. Does that sound like a...
Oh God, I hate that guy. I've seen this guy before on my For You page. I'm not even a gambler. Like, I'm not even a gambler. And I've seen this fucking guy on my For You page. And it's like, how the fuck is this guy on their For You page when I don't even gamble and I don't, like, what the fuck?
Just in case they get lucky and are able to pay off their loans they got from gambling. Does that sound like a good way to live to you? And does it sound like a way that should be promoted? Okay, speaking of that, if you guys ever see me promoting a gambling website, or if you see, oh, Gatsu on Kick, trust me, I got such a big bag for it. Next day, you will see me with like a keys to my new apartment because I'm not doing it for cheap. Also, if that happens, do not listen to me. Do not I'm scamming them. I'm scamming them. If I ever promote gambling, I'm scamming them, bro. I want this to be an inside thing. Nobody goes on that website if I promote gambling, okay? Just know, oh my God, this YouTuber is getting...
This is such a fucking hack. This is such a hack. Chat, what if we do this too? Scamming advertisers. If I ever promote gambling, no one download it. No one... Oh, this is such a hack. This is such a hack. We make it an inside joke among all content creators to never go on any gambling advertising, and we just all jointly scam them. I would still stop watching you. Are you not allowed to have fun in a hypothetical where we're all scamming the evil people and no one gets harmed? Can you not just imagine the good guys winning? Is that not part of your mental space? You can't imagine having fun and winning?
Such a big bag, and then just move on. Don't click on that link. Actually, blacklist that link. Never go on that link. I really respect the countries that have fully banned gambling, but China is very different in this situation because they have the largest, most profitable casino on the planet, and they have banned gambling. This is because they have Macau, and this place is very Chinese. Like, I couldn't pay for anything there because I didn't have Alipay. When I asked if they accept Visa, they made faces like I asked them if I wanted to get their grandma pregnant. Like, what is this? What is this dude talking about? What is this foreigner going on about Visa, huh? Polymarket and Kalshi are the sort of thing where they're like, yeah, this is super illegal. Let's get it so popular that with the amount of money we make, we can make it legal. And the entire world just accepts it. Like CNN and Google integrating Kalshi predictions. What the fuck is this? There's a reason why countries that sort of care about their people make gambling illegal.
We gotta ban this shit. We gotta ban this shit. And not only do we have to ban this shit, we have to expropriate all the money that was made from it, and we need to execute the people that made these fucking companies.
And even in the United States, there are a lot of forms of gambling that are banned depending on state to state because it ruins your life. It fucks your shit up. It ruins your life. Golden Globes have also partnered with Polymarket. So now you won't even have to watch the Golden Globes to know who is going to win the awards because before the award show, so many people already know who's the winner beforehand. So the people on the inside will...
Yeah, exactly. The insiders will just steal money from a bunch of idiots. Gambling addicts.
Just bet all their money on who they know is going to be the winner. Everything is gambling now. What the fuck is this? I hate gambling so much. It is so destructive to society, and it's exclusively for poor people or soon to be poor people. Now, I do like supporting poor people, but this is like saying, oh, let's support the homeless and then giving them heroin. Like, I guess you're supporting them, right? But this is not the way. Especially
honestly, if you gave free heroin, it would do more to help them
No, normally casinos are rigged, but somehow Polymarket managed to make casinos even more rigged. Also, it is all with crypto, which takes a lot of effort to trace it back to you, and if you're smart about it, it can't even be traced back to you. So a speechwriter for Trump could go on Polymarket and bet on the "what will Trump say in December" market and make him say something. Nobody would ever know, and the speechwriter would make a bag. Or like the Elon Musk number of tweets market. It's just so easy to manipulate. Elon could just bet on himself, tweet so much more, and then just make more money. What the fuck is this, bro? With this being the worst invention humanity has ever made, up there with the atomic bomb, there is only maybe one single benefit I can think of. Because these prediction markets are...
He could actually do that even more by, like, tweeting a bunch right before the deadline, and then each market would rise as, like, you know what I mean? Like, he could just cycle through every market. So he could, like, you know what I mean? Like, he could absolutely cycle through and clean out every market. So it'd be like, he's gonna tweet between 40 and 41 times, and okay, 41 and, or, you know, 41 times, 42 times, 43 times. And he could just go bat, and just clean out every market and then end up with the end. You could do it. You could spike multiple times on one market.
Riddled with insider trading, you can get news very easily because people on the inside are betting on what's going to happen, because people that make the things happen are betting on what's going to happen. This is the only slight benefit I can think of about this, but also I could just wait and look at the fucking news, right? Like, this is not that big of a benefit. There's also this White House press briefing, and 98% of the people had bet that it would be over 65 minutes long, until with literally seconds to spare.
So I would encourage everyone to take a look at the website. It's quite well done. And thank you all very much. It's great to be back with you.
How long will Caroline Levitt speak at the White House press briefing? 65 or above. So you could buy here, sell here. So you could win going up, and then you could short going down, and you could also buy the next contract. I mean, if there is a market on your behavior, you should rig it. Why not? I've never gone to Kalshi. It is advertised like crazy on TikTok now.
And the people who had bet against it, 50 times their money. For example, if they had bet $1,000, they would have made 50K. Fuck! I'm jealous. This is very disappointing in the entire world, because what do you mean now everybody is trying to insider trade in politics? The funniest thing is that they make bets on YouTubers and streamers as well on Polymarket. So somebody can make a bet. Will Gatsu say the N-word in this video? Now, I'm not known for doing that, so there will be a 99% probability that I won't. But then I could see that market and then be like, you know what? I feel like making $1 million and retiring today. And then bet all my money on yes. And then I could just drop the bomb in the video and come out with a couple $1 million because fucking idiots decided to gamble on this stupid ass market. This is basically what every politician does now. They literally make...
I just went to Polymarket and searched Hasanabi. Hasanabi banned from Twitch by October 31st. Hasanabi arrested by October 31st. This market never got above like 0.1%. Who proposed this shit? Wait, hold on. No, it did. It got up to 1.5%. Yeah. Like, who proposed this boring shit? Hasanabi banned on Twitch? God, they're so fucking lame, dude. They're so fucking lame. He should have been permabanned long ago for endorsing terrorists. No chance he'll be banned for this, but since this covered Temp's ban, he's been streaming pirate content. I can see a slap on the wrist coming in the form of a 24-hour ban on his day off. It has been verified that he's in fact an animal abuser and only 6 sociopathic controls and enjoys harming a dog. Would never do such a thing. It's disgusting. Such a strict punishment is well deserved. This shit is legitimately embarrassing. And I don't know what can you even say, man?
Political.
Caroline Ellison, new boyfriend by January 31. What?
Choices that affect all of us, we, over fucking Polymarket. And this is all anonymous because of crypto, so they never know who is the insider trader. It could be fucking Trump himself and you would not know. Such as when on January 2nd at 10 p.m. and an anonymous trader bet $34,000 that Maduro would lose power that month, at which point the market had only an 8% probability of happening. 12 hours later, Venezuela's capital got bombed and Maduro was on a plane to the United States. States, having lost his power and being captured. That trader made $410,000 in profit. Oh, and one more thing, the president's fucking son is on the Polymarket's advisory board. Oh my god. Which is very bad, you know, because it's the president's fucking son that could advise the American president to do certain things to benefit himself and his personal bets in the market. Like father, like son.
Rage Against the Machine are going to be traveling to Minneapolis to play a benefit concert. That's pretty cool.
Also, these prediction markets get so evil because there is literally a prediction market with a war map of Ukraine where people bet money on will Russia capture this by February, will Russia capture this by March with the war map. Imagine being Ukrainian and seeing this shit. You hear drones outside of your apartment all day. It's minus 12 and you don't have heating because Russia just bombed your electric plant and you can't heat your home. You never know when a drone is going to kill you and if you are going to survive this war at all. People you know have passed away in this war. 20,000 kids have been kidnapped by Russia and put up on a website for adoption. You have to deal with the loss of your loved ones and your home. And there are some fucking idiots in the world trying to make money betting on how much your country gets fucked. And gambling is everywhere now, including on Instagram Reels. So many times I would just be watching an Instagram reel, you know, just fucking brain rotting. And out of their asshole, the dude would pull out the, yo, should I hit or pass? Or on some game gambling, rain bet. I would genuinely be a morally better person if during every video I promoted fentanyl. Guys, this video is sponsored by fentanyl from the Chinese company Kill All Americans with Fent trademark. Also, I'm legally supposed to say that I'm not responsible for all the Dear Fentanyl videos. And they don't say that they're sponsored, which is illegal. If I don't say I'm sponsored, I'm gonna get fucked. But apparently, people on Instagram Reels and TikTok can just get away with this. One time...
Now, technically it's illegal, but who runs the Federal Trade Commission? The Federal Trade Commission is the organization... That's the organization that enforces these rules. So...
In Tokyo, I was walking and I wanted to piss. This quest led me to a place where 3 full floors were gambling, and these Japanese casinos are insane because it's just a...
Oh yeah, Plinko parlors are so fucking annoying and so cringe and so seedy. Ugh.
Lineup of old people locked in on that slot.
I hate gambling, man. Like I even like, and when I say I hate gambling, I understand the enjoyment of gambling. But just gambling as a social ill, it's so embarrassing to be addicted to gambling. It's so embarrassing to be a fucking loser. It is so fucking embarrassing that this is a real
machine just tapping in. I know addiction, right? I understand how people can get addicted to like cigarettes or alcohol or drugs, but how can you get addicted to losing your money? I don't get it. I genuinely pray for you. Gambling addiction is the worst addiction to have in the world, in my correct opinion. Nobody can tell me an addiction that ruins more families than this. Gambling makes fentanyl look like being addicted to Capri Suns. The promise of gambling is that basically you will get rich quick. Unfortunately, humanity has looked for a way to get rich quick since we started hunting animals with pointy rocks. And there is no way to get rich quick. And anyone promise you that is a lie.
Luck exists, but we have a winner bias. We focus on the people, or survivorship bias. We focus on the people who won instead of the 99.9% of people that are devastated by it. Because we're inherently think we're all the main character. And that problem, that failure, is why this shit is so effective in manipulating and trapping people.
Lying and scamming you. The only stable way to get...
I just found out literally last night that my mom has been spending thousands on the casino, so I get to have that conversation today or tomorrow. She doesn't even know I know yet. It's depressing, and I'm stuck here at work trying not to think about it. There is no worse addiction than having a parent who's addicted to gambling. Because they're gonna spend all of their legacy. And they're gonna be in debt when they die. And they're not going to be able to afford a nice nursing home, and they're not going to be able to afford medical care. I consider gambling to be the worst addiction you can have.
Get rich quick is stealing, which is exactly what the casino does to your wallet. They're getting rich quick. I don't know about you though. And seeing this behavior get promoted to people in every facet of life is absolutely disgusting. You're trying to scroll reels and then they give you a rain bet ad. You, I hope you piece of You have no idea
agree.
how many families gambling has ruined and how many people have genuinely just killed themselves over it because they had loans, because they couldn't stop gambling. And now you're promoting it when people are trying to be entertained through reels. You disgusting it. Also, gambling is just so bad in many ways. If I came up to you, offered you a free drink, some flashy lights, and then took half your savings, you'd probably not be very happy with me, but it's also like there's nothing you can do to me. Look at my security guard. You sure you want to go up against him? He's very well compensated for his services. It is my displeasure to introduce all of you to the gambling belt of the world. Bucharest is the capital of Romania. It's just a normal city, and it needs a couple more casinos to surpass the amount of casinos in Las Vegas. This isn't even branded as a sin city or anything, even though it is. It's the capital of Romania, and seeing photos of this city, it makes sense why they gamble. It's like, man, if I get lucky and make more money, maybe I can move into a better place, because this place is devious. The gambling belt is very surprising because it includes a country not many of you expected, Australia. Australians are literally the biggest gamblers in the world per capita, losing around $1,500 per adult on average.
Wow, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. I know that Chinese people, there's a Chinese gambling problem for sure.
They lose more money.
Was up 29K in 3 weeks and withdrew by 22K after I lost 7K at a ping pong match at 3 a.m. because there was nothing else to gamble on. I don't drink or gamble anymore. Sports betting is crazy right now, basically ruining the viewing experience of the sport. So aren't like professional sports dying out now? Like, aren't they literally seeing their viewership go down?
Gambling than their government spends on care for elderly people. And like other gambling places can easily be explained, right? Like in my country, Georgia, for example. Okay, I don't get paid anything at all either way. So if I lose this money, what difference does it make? You're broke when you start, like what's gonna happen? You're gonna become broke? No. So the chance that you might go from poor to rich just makes people go wild. But Australia? Bro, you guys already live very well. What is it in those slot machines you can't find? You have Greek food, nice beaches, and you wake up thinking, fucking hell, I'm gonna go hit the pokies tonight. Like, what's the evaluation in your brain at that second? Casinos are also used by the Australian mafia to launder money, but the last time anyone spoke in detail about that, they burned their house down. So to them, I say, What I want to say, guys, is please don't gamble. This is financial advice. Do not gamble. I can guarantee you will lose all of your money. And don't let any advertising drag you into doing this. Like if there suddenly started a global wave of people advertising Fent, would you fall for it? If you said no, then do not fall for the gambling propaganda either. It's worse. Like and subscribe because you enjoyed this video. And I've got goals. I've got big goals for this year. So expect a high frequency of uploads, higher than usual, at least. It was the holiday season and you like people were DMing me, where's the video at? You expected me to work during holiday season? You weren't working. Why should I? I love you all. Thank you so much for your support and more bangers coming soon. Bye-bye. Like and subscribe and goodbye. Don't forget to click the link in the description and get the special discount CyberGhost VPN is granting to my channel users. Click the link below to get CyberGhost VPN for just $2.03 a month plus 4 months free. Also with a full 45-day money-back guarantee. Grab the deal now and thanks for watching.
რასაკეთებ თქვენი დედა მოტყან ჩვენ ხომ ოჯახი ვარ არა უცნაური გოგო ხარ იცგერითან დაგმირდები არც ფოცამობ და არც არა და არც სიყვარულს მირდები.
Alrighty, chat. We are the stream. We are the stream. New video shows previous clash with Pretty and federal agents. Who gives a fuck? Who actually gives a fuck? In what way would this ever be relevant? That's not relevant to him being shot dead on the street for no fucking reason. Remember to chill. Oh, I will. All right, chat. Let's watch some more Ilhan Omar.
Guy had come up and...
That's what I thought. And then I heard...
Which is why you did this.
Well, I mean, that was... You know, I was raised with 3 brothers who are older than me, and so you learn that maybe taking the first punch is bigger than you yields you better results.
Security tackled him. It looks like he...
I wasn't able to make contact with him.
You did not, yes. So that image has gotten everywhere.
Yeah, he was saved by the security.
He was saved, but I guess my question to you is, you have been the subject of endless and...
Have you heard of the Kid Table, an anti-DSA pro-Israel thing? I got an email from them that says DSA harbors violent extremists. I'm not sure I know what that is.
Basically constant threats, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in your time in public life, the president eggs them on. He clearly paints a target at you. After this happened, he said she probably set it up. It was a false flag, like she set it up to do to herself. Have you acclimated to this to a degree, or is there some part of you that still feels...
You know what I understand this all to be is an intimidation tactic. Whether it is the president's deranged rant attacking me, my family, and my community, or whether it is, you know, this deranged person showing up trying to assault me, is that they want to intimidate me from public life. And I am not one to be intimidated. And, you know, I could hear people saying there were liquids and all of this, but I wasn't feeling an impact, and nobody around me seemed to be feeling it.
Oh, by the way, chat, the IDF has formally accepted the death toll of the Gaza Health Ministry. For the better part of 3 years, people like David Pakman, when they speak about Gaza, they've said the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry. It seems very likely that the Gaza Health Ministry number was always too low, and it's something that we've been saying. Absolutely fucking disgusting, dude. Absolutely fucking disgusting. What do you even say? I want to show you something, chat, about... I know we talked about Tectone already. I gotta show you... I gotta show you what he was sounding like a couple months ago.
I got a question. Okay, so this is Tectone.
You put
talking
gays
about
instead of Gaza?
Pinkchu
Oh,
in the midst
sorry
of their
about that.
legal
I'll fix
proceedings,
that. Thank you.
where it's likely that Pinkchu can't talk because he's in the middle of a fucking court case.
Why you think Pink ain't talk about me no more? Y'all ever notice that? Why y'all think Pink don't talk about me no more? Cause she knows she's fucked. Cause she knows she's fucked.
How's that working out now, Techie?
Every now and then, this is what...
How's that working out now, you fucking rapist?
She does. This is what she does. All she'll do is pin. All she'll do is pin old tweets. She won't tweet anything new because she knows she... Yep. Every now and then she tweets a little kitty face. Won't say shit, which is weird. Because before she had all this to talk about. But man, Pink, if only you knew the shit that I knew. But don't worry. You'll find out. And what's crazy is, Pink, and I'm going to let you know, I would still forgive you if you apologized. Publicly, of course. That's what's crazy. But you won't, and it's going to be great to see what happens. But it is a shame.
Isn't it amazing how all of our enemies, the people that defame us, are fucking criminal sex pest freaks that should be dealt with through the legal system?
Because I hate how you have to act like things were bad. It's truly a shame. And now you've built your entire image on lies. And do you know what's going to happen when those lies crumble, Pink? You lose everything.
Oh.
Because you're...
Oh, dude. Oh, watching this back now is just so delicious. It's so delicious to watch this back now, man.
a liar. And that's what's going to happen. Fucking insane. You couldn't just say things didn't work out. You couldn't just say...
This is a clip from a month ago.
I'm not going to lie. I'm getting to the point of where I'm tired of being on this break as well. And I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. I could legit come back today. I could have come back like 2 months ago. But there's something that I'm waiting for, which, to be honest, I'm getting tired of waiting for it. I might just say fuck it because I'm just bored. But if I come back after this thing, it's just way cooler. You know, and I'm a guy that loves the pageantry of these things. I'm a guy that loves like the drama, like the build-up, the suspense. It's exciting for me. And dude, like my return will be way cooler if I come back after a certain point. But to be honest, I'm just getting bored. I'll be real. Like I might go live next month. I'm not gonna lie.
The amount of people that use this rapist.
Question.
Again, another Destiny, Ethan Klein fucking ally, fucking rapist, fucking criminal. Does he suffer from micro penis? Listen, chat. I did a comparison of Tectone and Hassan mentioning each other. Tectone mentions of Hassan on his official YouTube channel. Hassan mentions of Tectone on his official YouTube channel. Well, chat, that number's going up because Hassan did a segment on Tectone. Did they put it on the main channel? I hope they did. Please have put it on the main channel. Please have put it on the main channel. For the love of God, Hassan, put it on the main channel! We need to have this. We cannot have this shit. We cannot have this shit. Okay, chat, which is the bot channel? Hasanabi Archive, right? That's the bot channel? I can never remember. I literally have a brain fog when it comes to this. Okay, we'll watch Hassanverse.
Why that lawyer is defending Tectone? Yeah, I know. This is Asmongold's.
Objection overruled. The court finds this streamer guilty of great content. Please, everyone, welcome the legal mindset to the Mythic team. Holy shit. Asmongold down. So Lakari's a pedophile with child porn on his computer. Tectone is a rapist. Rich Campbell is a fucking sexual assaulter. Who isn't a criminal that is still allied with Asmongold? Who isn't?
Gold's talent agency, and they recently dropped Tectone, even though Asmongold has said nothing about, Tectone, or hasn't really.
Mike, this is also the bot channel. Okay, Hasanabi Productions, thank you so much.
That's why I always say, judge me by my enemies. They're just malicious. They're just.
By the way, how do we know? Did you see Saltzman is trying to get the ADL to attack Twitch again because of the Hassan said Ultra Zydus pigs? No one gives a fuck about the ADL. They've lost all their fucking juice. Nobody gives a fuck. One of the things that's really frustrating about being on the left is that everybody is too nice. I mean, I almost had a meltdown earlier because Hassan was being nice to the people that want him to be destroyed for no fucking reason. For no fucking reason. These people call us anti-Semites publicly and privately. And these guys just walk around. Like, why the fuck are they comfortable? It's like there's not that many people that are super centrist commentators or far-right commentators in this country. And they do massively outsized damage. There's not that many prominent centrist commentators. There's really not. And they do so much damage.
It's vindictive. They just want to dish out what they have done to themselves, refusing to acknowledge why they're personally, consistently taking L after L. Tectone thanks Ethan Klein for having his back throughout his recently finalized domestic proceedings. Wait, what?
Maybe a clip can get to him. I just want to thank him for having my back and kind of giving my perspective and my POV on why I said what I said. Maybe we don't need to talk, but I at least just want him to know that I appreciate him being pretty level-headed and telling his friends.
How's that content cap working out for you guys? Maybe Tectone will join the card.
And, well, this is why Tectone did this, because as a guy who's been horrifically misunderstood on the internet, I really appreciate people just, having a level head and being like, well, let me think about this from Tectone's perspective. And I very much appreciate that.
Here we have
And I also hope that him and his wife and, I will call her by name, Ela, are doing okay, as well as maybe a clip.
Scumbag.
Okay, why is Hassan wearing a military jacket? Are we entering our military jacket era? Because I have so many of these things, man. I have so many of these type of things. It's Ralph Lauren. Bro, I already said BB earlier. I'm gonna say more problematic shit if I don't stop. Today is not a good day for Mike from PI. I'm having a rough, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I am in problematic thought, period. Because that is so fucking lame. That's actually lame. It's so fucking lame. It's like, you might as well, why not get a real one? This is so fucking lame. This actually sucks. This actually fucking sucks. This actually sucks. I'm not a Hassan fashion hater, but I actually think this actually sucks because it has all the aesthetics of being a fucking military jacket while also being overpriced crap. I actually hate this. I actually despise this. I thought he actually got some fucking surplus shit. And I was like, I wonder what those patches are. No, it's just complete garbage. Theo has made me a sandwich. Holy shit. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. We've got arugula with can you guys see? This is prosciutto and there's tomatoes underneath. No, I don't mind tomatoes if they're fresh. I don't like low quality tomatoes. I like tomatoes, but not low quality. I mean, everybody agrees with that. Oh, this sucks. This actually sucks. I have real shit. I have some real shit. I'm gonna bust out some real shit. I'm gonna bust out some real shit and get called the imperialist Mike. Have you seen the prices on real McCoys? Dude is just living within his means. I'm sorry, but I think you should just get a real, if you're gonna go for the aesthetic of a surplus coat, just get a real one. Like, I don't understand. Like, I legitimately don't get it. I legitimately don't get it. Also, Theo hates American deli meat. She thinks American deli meat is foul. She despises it. She thinks they're poisoning us. And so she found this place that imports meat from Italy. And Theo doesn't put their foot down much. But on deli meat, it's like, if you want Vio to be legitimately mad at you, try to debate her on this point. Try to debate Vio on this point. She will tell you, like, she will get actually mad. And she'll be like, no, I will not eat American deli meat. And the thing is, she's tried it. It's not that it's like a European, like, it's not a European thing where she's like a snob or anything. No, she's not a snob. She just legitimately has tried so much American deli meat and thinks that it's poisonous and actually gross. And so it is a personally derived opinion. And we went back to when we went to Vienna a couple years ago. We went back to Vienna. I guess it was a couple of years ago now, or last year. And we got like sandwiches at a deli. And she was like, "Oh my God, I was right. I was right." And it kind of is embarrassing. It's embarrassing that our deli meat is this garbage. Is there any cool Soviet surplus Chinese? Actually, yes. I'm trying to get PLA winter gear. That would actually be really cool. You know what I want? I'd love some like Czechoslovakian or Yugoslavian surplus gear. That would be cool. Maybe some East German.
Hey guys, Paul here from Military History Gear Review. Today, we're going to be checking out the People's Liberation Army's brand new Type 19 parka. This isn't even fully fielded yet, and we're lucky we got to check it out. So be sure to stick around.
Why do they got desert camo? American Pipe Dream? Okay, are these guys sussy? Are these guys like sussy or are they actually cool? God, why is it so much? Mike hasn't bought surplus in a while and shit on Hassan. The last time I went to a surplus store was 18 months ago. And it was in Vegas and it was extremely sussy. Extremely sussy. Like walking in there, I was like, I'm in enemy territory. Okay, sorry I got distracted by that because when I found out this was Ralph Lauren, it actually pissed me off. When I found out this is Ralph Lauren, it actually pissed me off because it's lame. Bro, chill out. Who cares? I literally don't care.
All of them. Every single one of these animals, dude. Judge me by my haters and your haters have been judged. Yeah. The court has officially found reasonable grounds to believe streamer Tectone committed sexual assault. He's now banned from owning firearms, has been placed on stalking protective order. Additionally, he will be paying $15,000 for the victim's lawyer's fees. Tectone reportedly admitted in court he pivoted to shitting on Hassan and doing right-wing content to deflect from his sexual assault and stalking charges. It's now over. Now we have all the real details too. I had to deal with these animals for years, dude. Years. They leaned into every goddamn thing they possibly could to be like, oh, Hassan is against Israel. He's an anti-Semitic terrorist. He should be shot. He should be imprisoned. He should be getting detained by the federal.
This post deserves more likes. To lose your right to own a gun. The Peach Jars tweet about Tectone. We have looked at that already, but I'll look at it again. Peach Jars is so cool. Last time we talked, man, I think we made fun of Tectone. I want to say we made fun of Tectone. I think, or it was about some other incel shit. You know who I really need to, I like, not to be parasocial, but I'm like, how do we get them out of Austin? How the fuck do we get them out of Texas? Like, get the fuck out, man. Get out. Get out of Texas. Her and Wake. Peach is in LA. I think she was part-time in LA. I'm like, Sear, Peach, Wake, get out of there. Get out of there. They're going to give up a decent amount of. The problem with LA is it's actually insane. The problem with LA is it's actually insane. Like, if you want a small house, you need to make like 300 grand. And that's like you maxed out with a 20% down payment. It's actually fucking stupid. It's bad. Unless you're living in like a really bad neighborhood. And even then, you probably need to make at least 200. Wake was trying to move to LA, but he couldn't find a roommate. Damn. 300K for a small house in LA? No. 300K for the down payment, which means you need to have $300,000 in cash and you borrow another, 1.2 million. So you're paying $7 grand a month in a mortgage. And that's for like a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath house of like 1,500 square feet. Like, we're talking about The prices we're talking about are fucking batshit. All right, back to Hassan's coverage. Let me just say, I adore Peach. I think that Wake is cool as fuck. I adore Wake. I need to watch more Woke Wilder. I mean, he even said, don't make fun of micro penises. He said, when you're making fun of Tectone, don't make fun of micro penises because you're giving guys with micro penises strays. I need someone that nice in my life because I'm not that nice, as you guys know. For me, being a good person and being kind is something that I want to be. You know what I mean? Like I'm putting in an effort to try to be as good of a person as I can. Do you think there's a possibility ICE goes to the banks that control the mortgage to get permission to enter properties they don't have warrants for? That's not how that works. That's not how anything works. They also can't go to landlords and get permission. You have what's known as the right to quiet enjoyment. What that means is if you own a property and you're paying the mortgage on time, or you lease a property and you're paying your rent on time, landlords and banks cannot interfere with your privacy or your rights. They cannot infringe on access to your property without your consent. What I mean by that is that's illegal. Now, are they going to break the law? Are they going to well, if they're just breaking laws, then the question of yours, it isn't about going to the mortgage. It's the question you're really asking is, will Ice Mike wantonly break the law and kick people's doors down? And the answer is they're already doing it. Honestly, like, I think we're way behind the curve. I think even I'm behind the curve. And like, I'm trapped in this space where I can't say, okay, let me see if I can be theoretical so I can say it. Let me think about how I want to phrase it, and then we'll come back to this topic.
Federal government, when I get detained by the federal government, oh, it's probably fake. That didn't happen. And if it did happen, it should happen more frequently. You must feel vindicated now. Their time will come. Their time will come. These are objectively evil people, okay? These are objectively evil people. They are objectively monstrous, evil people. And that's precisely the reason why I just keep my head down and keep doing what I'm doing, because I don't want to be constantly dealing with this dumb nonsense, okay?
These people falsely accuse me of being a and you've let it go on for years.
I think this is the main reason why Tectone has become so extreme. And whenever you think about it, really calling somebody a racist is one of like the top 3 things that you can say to somebody that is career destroying, career ending, or damaging. And so when you have an entire group of people that are really with no—
All right, chat. I got General Miley's senior thesis. It's called A Critical Analysis of Revolutionary Guerrilla Organization in Theory and Practice. He is the former general of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So I got it. It's called The Irish Republican Army, A Critical Analysis of Revolutionary Guerrilla Organization in Theory and Practice by Mark Alexander Miley. Published in 1980. Now we're talking. Dedication. To my mother and father, for all your love and guidance over the years gone by and those to come, I owe you everything. To my Irish ancestors and to all the people of Ireland, that one day the Emerald Isle may live in peace and unity so that your agonizing struggle for freedom may not have been in vain. This is a pro-guerrilla thesis. What website? You can't get this from a website. You can't get this from a website. You think you can get this from a website? I got this from Princeton. It is the belief of this author that no work on the issues of Irish independence can remain unbiased. I freely admit I support the cause of Irish independence. Nevertheless, I abhor the vicious and often indiscriminate violence in Northern Ireland, often conducted by that organization fighting for Irish independence, the IRA. Although I abhor their violent tactics, I understand and sympathize with their motives. Despite my bias, I have tried not to take sides in presenting evidence, and I hope this work is in the best traditions of value-free scholarship. For those times it falls short of that ideal, I sincerely apologize. All right. IRA ballad. Guerrilla warfare and revolutionary theory have merged into an ideal instrument for the realization of socio-political economic aspirations for underprivileged people, the wretched of the earth. To borrow as a popular phrase, the title of the book by Frantz Fanon. Oppressed peoples have taken the theory largely developed by Mao Zedong among Marxist-Leninist lines and waged bloody struggles throughout the world. As a theory, it has been widely practiced but rarely proved since the end of World War II. One of the most important aspects of the theory concerns the revolutionary organization. Who should control it, and how should it be structured? Link? You can't get this. There is no link. There is no link. What do you mean? This is called I Got This. No one else has this. Why don't you guys understand? I got it from my university. Exactly. Thank you, Call of Booty. Let's just say that I asked the chatter who's at Princeton to get me this, and they did. Now, I didn't want to say who it is because I don't want to dox them or anything. But I heard about it. And I was like, wait a minute. He wrote something on revolutionary theory. That's interesting. So I've had it for a while, chat. Definite organization form is necessary. Lenin. And because he went on to become the general of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States military, I thought maybe he might be a pretty intelligent person to look at what he thinks about revolutionary organization. What book is this? I'll upload it somewhere. I'll upload it. I'll upload it somewhere. Anyway, that's where my mind is at.
No evidence. No evidence at all.
I mean, allegations.
All saying that Tectone
from numerous former partners, by the way,
is a tone and saying, well, Tectone must be a racist. Look at his dad. His dad had this thing happen with the military. Like, think about how disgusting.
I mean, his dad was also convicted. I mean, that one is not even an allegation. That just makes matters even worse.
That is really, if you say
PewDiePie has a book on his bookshelf about the international Jewish conspiracy written by a Holocaust denier. Every single time someone goes after me, they're a fucking Nazi. Every fucking time, or a fucking pedophile. Every fucking time, dude. Every fucking time. A History of Central Banking and the Enslavement of Mankind. Stephen Mitford Goodson. Every fucking time, dude. Every fucking time, man.
Said that. Like, and really think about, can you imagine what it would be like if somebody like Tectone said, well, look at this person, they must be a criminal because their dad is a criminal or their other family member is a criminal, and that person was black. Do you know what would happen to that person?
I beefed with PewDiePie? Yeah, I did. 7 years ago.
Banned. They would be banned, and they should be banned.
Wait, what? What? Yeah, falsely accusing someone of being a racist because they're black is like that's entirely separate from talking about a person who has numerous allegations from previous partners and then finding out that their father also had a similar charge. Like, there's like being a generational has nothing to do with, you know, being a black person and then having a black child. Like, what the?
Why did he beef with you? Because I was arguing against misogyny.
This argument is crazy. He said, imagine if Tectone was black.
Basically, other female creators were getting like targeted because they asked for people to subscribe to their channel, and they were like singling them out to get like a huge hate mobs were going after them. So I was like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? We all ask for subs. I do it all the time.
That wouldn't change anything. If Tectone was black and his father was black and his father was also found guilty of rape in a court of law as a military official, and then Tectone's former partners, black Tectone's former partners also did that, that would have nothing to do with him being black at all. That would have everything to do with the same dynamic that exists in this circumstance as well. That would have nothing to do with his skin color.
That's the only reason why it's been accepted.
Yeah, bro, they call Hassan a terrorist for no other reason than being Muslim. Yeah, well, because they don't understand the argument that I'm making about anti-colonial resistance, obviously, and the fact that I'm Muslim also lets it stick.
The amount of...
They call him a generational... It's implying generational guilt.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's not... I mean, it's not a joke because it's real, but also...
Silver is at 114 and gold at 5,300. Crashing coming. These prices are batshit. I don't know.
You know, people are, myself included, are making jokes about...
Shit, that reminds me, chat. I forgot to shill. It's only $6 a month. $6 a month. If you can be here watching me, you can afford to pay $6 a month. And if you can't... No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's a deep cut, chat. That's a deep cut. That's a very deep cut. $6 a month. Anyway, if you enjoy the content, please 3 Vans has watched 80 streams in a row. Hell yeah, brother. Consider supporting the stream by subscribing at tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 subs. There's paper crashing. Both banks have a short of 125 for silver. They're crashing the paper price because they're trying to balance saving the dollar and the yen by sacrificing metals. It's not going to work. Little Corvo, thank you for the 5 tier 1s. Put the subs in the bag. Chat, we are dangerously close to 10,000 subs. We are a mere 851 subs away. If you think about it, that's basically nothing. If you think about it, chat, that's basically nothing. Open presents snipe me earlier. Well, then extend your sub. Pay for your own shit. If you can afford it, pay for your own shit or pay it forward. The fuck? Atriarch Praxis. Atark Praxis. KGB Cowboy. Little Corvo. Thank you all. Airbnb Borshit. Thanks for the tier 2. You're the best. Long time sub. Was that your 6th? Oh, that was 50 months. Okay. Hammond Fist. Thank you for the 20. Hell yeah, brother. Thank you everybody for all the support.
About the fact that there's generation happening in the family.
Say that about somebody who's not.
No, he's saying we profiled him because his father, instead of recognizing, we called him that after credible accusations came out. I know. Credible accusations that have actually landed him in legal trouble now. So obviously, we were right.
White, you're going to be taking a very long vacation. It's just the truth. And the point that I'm making is that when you have people that are spreading, at least from his perspective, the court case is not finished, and so I do know more about it than the public. And also I remain to be Tectone's friend, and I support Tectone. You can take that for what you will. When you have people that, and also, by the way, the one group of people that certainly doesn't know anything about this, and for sure.
Well, it's just crazy because you had like deep inside knowledge on this stuff, and for some reason I don't know, for some weird reason, despite your deep inside knowledge, you were wrong. And I guess the people that had outside knowledge that chose to believe the victims were right. How does that work?
Or doesn't have any information about this. Are the people calling him?
By the way, I want to say this. The entire time I had direct information and testimony that Tectone was a rapist. I had evidence of him botting. I had evidence of, I was just waiting for him to deny it. I wanted him to give me an opening. I wanted him to say, no, he doesn't bot. I wanted him to say that he wasn't a rapist. I wanted him to say that he hadn't committed these crimes. And I knew he was going to lose. And I told you he was going to lose.
Tectone update. The official protective order was filed with Travis County today, as well as Tectone's affidavit confirming he knows he can no longer possess firearms. Here are the highlights from the documents. The court finds there are reasonable grounds to believe Tectone both assaulted and stalked Pink. The court believes it is likely the stalking would persist if he is not legally barred from it. The protective order persists until January 23rd, 2036. Tectone will pay $15,000 in Pink's lawyer fees. Tectone cannot share any photos/videos of Pink with anyone. Tectone cannot communicate with Pink directly or indirectly except through her lawyer. Tectone cannot engage in any conduct that is reasonably likely to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass Pink directly. Tectone cannot go within 200 yards of Pinky Chew or her residence or her place of work. Tectone cannot possess or receive firearms. Dude. Yeah, also in the court, he straight up, apparently in the court, he openly stated that he pivoted to right-wing content because he had to continue farming. He had to continue farming and continue gaining prominence. And part of that right-wing content pivot was also attacking me, including but not limited to using the Kaya Gate Dogtober as a reason for why he was doing it. Not that it matters. All of the worst scumbags on the internet basically created a league of villains and have been on the wrong side consistently. What is this? Oh, this is the lawyer that is also legal mindset going to bat for Tectone with incredible real lawyer arguments like pro-female bias. Arguments. Travis County has pro-female bias outcomes. Potential activist judge with domestic violence bias. Jury pool potentially biased towards plaintiffs. Skew heavily female bias. We haven't seen it.
Wait, are you saying I'm lying? Fuck Techie. Oh, okay, good. Never mind.
Abusive communications. Amazing. The day the victims of Hasanabi Discord server run by Stockman gets leaked is going to be some of the craziest we've ever seen. I just know it. Oh yeah, you mean the one that's stalking my family? And I know. There's that element too. This guy credits Tectone for getting him in Mythic Talent. The amount of I've had to put up with for the last couple of years is insane, dude. By some of the worst, objectively worst scumbags. It is crazy. I wonder why that lawyer is defending Tectone. Yeah, I know. This is Asmongold's talent agency, and they recently dropped Tectone, even though Asmongold has said nothing about, Tectone, or hasn't really said much about Tectone for some reason, even though he usually farms a lot of these like things. What is this?
It's hard to come back. It's really hard to come. Let's cry here, because when you're super depressed, it's hard to do this. It's hard to do this shit. And I love you guys. It's really good. It's really good to be back. He thinks he's being chased by Antifa women. Me looking at this guy. Stop. By the way, this is another, like, Ethan Klein's best friend, Legal Mindset. Another Ethan ally. This dude who's not a real lawyer anymore, I'm pretty sure, who had an entire series talking about how you can become a sex tourism expert. Passport bro, Legal Mindset.
Doesn't he live in Thailand now? I feel like Thai sex workers should be able to kill white Western men, like, legally.
Series. This was funny. Actual psychotic episode. He also said he was the Charlie Kirk of Thailand. Legal Mindset did a video where he claimed that Antifa spies were tracking him in Thailand. His evidence for this was that he saw a white woman at a Starbucks and she didn't smile at him. The dude is a complete lunatic. I don't know why anyone listens to him. I think we know why people listen to him. Yeah, Illegal Mindset is right. Yeah, this is the person who Ethan Klein was talking about.
Talking about a certain movement that has blown up on the internet, that's gotten out there. That's right. It's the Passport Bro.
Another one of Ethan's allies that Ethan farmed aggressively, that Ethan Klein was all up and down promoting him to his audience of women, by the way.
There is possibility to get pretty cheap rent in Korea. What is Korea good for? Korea has really hot women. That's just very clear. Vietnamese women are extremely hot, but they're also kind of crazy. Obviously, Thailand, very open in terms of culture in Thailand. It's illegal to have for money in public. See, that's the deal. In public. In private, it doesn't matter. So, and the definition of private is the curtain, right? To pull the curtain, it's fine. So just be understanding, if you're a guy who wants to do that, that's available to you down there. Thai women, very much like Western men, very open to it. So yeah, that's talent. Also, Korea, one of the capitals of plastic surgery. There are large-breasted women. I have seen personally women with G-cup.
Another one of Ethan Klein's allies, who is of course defending Tone. I just want to point that out again. Ethan Klein, another one of Tone's allies. Tone personally thanked Ethan Klein for all the support Ethan Klein has shown Tone. Just remember who these gross loser freaks are. All because Israel, okay? All because they aligned on Hassan and being pro-Israel, okay? Just a couple threads. Hassan gets owned by Legal Mindset. This video is such a good video. Watch. Defo recommended. Legal Mindset. Hassan Piker is one of the people on the internet that is the most comfortable using slander and defamation. He's lucky no one has sued. In another video, Legal Mindset also called out and explained why Hassan is a pseudo-intellectual who speaks deeply on topics he has no idea about. I don't love Legal Mindset. EDB and Runkle have always been my primary law tubers. Legal Mindset on YouTube with the slam dunk. Legal Mindset tortures Hassan for dumb takes on the Ethan Klein lawsuits. Pseudo-intellectuals like Hassan use big words that you do not understand.
Wait. We got a big raid? What happened? Sorry, guys. I was looking on my other monitor. What happened? What was the raid? Shy Thembo. Hey, guys. Welcome in.
How do these guys get popular? You need to understand. There are a lot of Scarleton scumbags.
Charlatan. Chinese invasion? Okay, motherfucker. I'm sorry, but on Twitch.tv, I am the most Chinese guy on this fucking platform. Okay? I'm Will Neff's editor and a small leftist trans streamer. They welcome in. Sounds cool. Have you been to China? I've been in China, and the only place that matters, my heart. Okay?
Scumbags, Scarleton scumbags. There are a lot of charlatan scumbags on the internet who are just manic, who are just insane, who just run around and spread as much toxicity as they possibly can. There's so many more. Eventually,
the Senate has blocked the DHS spending bill.
On this vote, the yeas are 45, the nays are 55. On this vote, the yeas are 45, the nays are 55.
Wow, that was easy. The Senate blocked the House-approved 6 spending package 4555 after it included extended DHS funding through September 30th with no meaningful reforms. The bill failed to reach the 60 votes needed. The bipartisan group, including all Democrats and 7 Republicans, voted no rather than hand DHS a blank check. Talks continue as a shutdown looms at midnight Friday. If they don't shut down the fucking government after 2 white liberals were gunned down in cold blood, the Democratic Party is beyond redemption. And like, I'm not saying white liberals deserve extra consideration. It's quite the opposite. I'm just showing you. Apparently the Krasensteins follow me and I never noticed. It's that they're not even pretending to mask anymore. They are mask off fascists by putting the masks on and killing us in cold blood. They won't care until MAGA starts getting capped, sadly. Okay, here's the problem. Eventually, something's gonna happen. Eventually, a bunch of ICE agents are gonna get clapped. And the type of people that are likely to do that are probably not gonna be squeaky clean. That's what the Democrats don't seem to understand. Or maybe they do understand this. And I don't know about you, chat, but I don't need the optics of, 15 ICE agents bleeding out on the street and some sort of running gun battle wrecking a bunch of neighborhoods in LA. I don't need that. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's going to cause liberals to lose their nerve and become even more of a footstool to Donald Trump. So if we want to stop and resist ICE, they have to do it right fucking now. I don't want them to cave on the first fucking manufactured Reichstag fire. Devs would use that opportunity to go after the left. Exactly my point. And I don't think, the left is ready to resist. And I'm not saying that because I'm putting a timetable on another man's freedom. I'm saying that from a practical, logistical evaluation of the left. I don't know of any organization that would show up. It could challenge the American government's control over a geographic area. We are still very much people are still waking up, period. Why do you think something will happen? I think Americans have accepted this as the new normal, like we did with school shootings. This is a servile country. I mean, you're kind of right. I don't know. The George Floyd protests were pretty strong, man. I don't know about that.
They started to catch on and said E needs to be careful with this guy. E fans posted kawaii edits of this racist piece of shit, by the way. Mr. Andrews Esquire reading Hassan to absolute filth, but with a smile. It's petty Gorley Summer. I don't know how to edit. I have severe ADHD. It's contagious. My condolences. That's why I always say, judge me by my enemies. Okay? They're just malicious. They're just vindictive. They just want to dish out what they have done to themselves, refusing to acknowledge why they're personally, consistently taking L after L. They are just angry, resentful, narcissistic little monsters, and they will align with every single person that they possibly can, as long as they're all united. Law, the difference when they finally did research, Legal Mindset has completely lost his mind. Legal Mindset being weird on Maine in reference to Legal Mindset. Yeah, I guess 7 months ago, something changed because they were loving Legal Mindset. And then 7 months ago, they were like, okay, this guy might be a right-wing psychopath. They're just straight up evil, brother. That's it.
The thing about Destiny is there's not one person that he collabs with against Hassan that doesn't end up being a grifter or a pedophile or a fascist. And for some reason, they continue to push the idea that he's some sort of like genius about fighting the right. His own son is a Nazi.
Okay, they're just straight up evil. Not the audiences. The audiences are just duped. Okay, yeah, here. Tectone. Hassan dug up past crimes of Tectone's dad in order to weaponize Tectone's past trauma with his dad against him as retaliation for criticism. The tides are turning. Second pick for context. Tectone and Hassan going at it. 0 votes. H3, please discuss the allegations as being thrown at Tectone. Tectone wishes the fam well. If you are purely driven by resentment and spite, okay? If you are purely driven by resentment and spite and you have no political convictions whatsoever, you are going to find yourself surrounded by the biggest losers, many of them with sex charges for some weird reason. If you're spiteful against me and that's the only thing that you care about, I'm sorry, but you're going to find yourself with a lot of sex criminals as your allies, because I don't know what it is, but I have a lot of cops that happen to become sex criminals at a certain point. I don't know what it is, okay? If you don't want to be surrounded by these sex criminals, behave that way. Don't be driven exclusively by spite.
The Young Turks are thrown for fake progressives? What the fuck is this? All right, is this guy a course creator? Or is he like legitimately left wing? Oh, here's how you can tell. Not looking good. Not looking good. Not looking good. Hello, you Gopnik Raiders. Jank is, however, a right-wing idiot. Don't post this fucking account. Don't post this fucking account to me. The post left watch is dumb as fuck. They don't even know who's post left. Hey, everybody. Welcome in, you Gopnik Raiders. I was just saying how I want Yugoslavian military surplus gear.
What did he do? So, like, that whole, like, no enforcement at the border was madness. And I think that there's a couple of problems there. Number one was he was giving in to this extreme left that is like if you're on the right, guys, you see a caricature of the left. Folks will take 1, 2, max 10% of the left that are the most extreme, and oh, that's all of the left. By the way, the left does it to the right too. They'll take the most extreme right winger and pretend that's all Trump voters, right? So what I'm trying to get people to see is no, 80% of the country is in the middle. So the extreme left wanted almost no law enforcement at the border, and we would have debates with the extreme left. We'd be like, what do you mean no enforcement? Then we'll have 3 billion people in the country. It's just totally unsustainable. You have to have a border, right? And so Biden screwed that up mainly because of that. So on the other hand, when you get to Biden, what in the world did he do?
All right, this has pissed me off because I just posted something on my Twitter shows that they're complete fucking morons. Of course they are. January 26th survey. Do you think that, okay, they finally asked people what their position is on immigration. They have finally done that. They have finally said, hey, what do you think should happen on immigration? It's very rare to ever get a poll like this. Do you think in general, the following types of people who are in the United States illegally should or should not be deported? People who have committed violent crimes, 87% should be deported. Okay, everyone's on board with that. Somebody's a violent criminal and they're not an American citizen, deporting them seems fine. People who have committed non-violent crimes, only 45% of people think those people should be deported. So they can't even get a majority for criminals to be deported. People who recently came to the U.S. and have not committed any crimes, 45% should not be deported. These are the bulk of the people that Obama deported and Biden deported. Basically, 45% of people think you should be able to come in this country as long as you don't commit any crimes. This is where it gets really crazy. People who have lived in the United States for many years without committing any crimes, 65% say should not be deported. Now, I want you to look at that 65% because, as I've said before, about 60 to 65% of this country are open to left-wing ideas. The idea that as long as they've been here a while and they haven't committed any crimes, they should be able to stay, that is the left-wing position. Do you understand that? That is a very left-wing position. That is the amnesty position. People who have young children who are U.S. citizens, that's an anchor baby. 59% do not want you to deport anybody with an anchor baby. People who came to the United States as children, that is the dreamers. 66% should not be deported. Only 17% want them deported. People who are married to a U.S. citizen, 72% should not be deported. Who are the 11% that want American citizen spouses deported? You should be put into a re-education facility to learn what words mean because it didn't catch. Who took this test? 1,124 U.S. adult citizens. Which of the following comes closest to your view about the U.S. government deporting immigrants? The government should do it as quickly as possible, even if it means that it might make more mistakes in who it deports. 11% support the no due process. The government should try its best to ensure that no one is mistakenly deported, even if that means the process will take longer. 82%! 82%! That means 11% of people support Asmongold and 82% support me on immigration. And the Democrats are pussyfooting around 82%! 82%! And the Democrats are acting like they're losing! We recently tested a dozen public statements from a diverse set of Democratic elected officials on the murder of Renee Good, and it was the top testing one. Oh, no shit. These fucking they are the enemies of humanity, and they need to be... That's so fucking evil. They're so fucking evil, dude. They're so fucking evil. Holy shit, they're evil. What comes closest to your view about people who are killed by ICE agents or in ICE custody? These deaths show that there's a fundamental problem with ICE that needs to be fixed. 59% agree. These deaths are unavoidable and do not show there's a fundamental problem with ICE. 25%. They can't even get 30% to support it. I'm starting at YDSA at my university. Wish me luck. Good luck. Where are you at? You don't have to tell me if you don't want. I'm like so fucking disgusted by these fucking rat fucks. It's unbelievable how disgusting they are. What best describes your view of the Trump administration's approach to immigration policy? I support both the goals of the immigration policy and the way he's implementing. 27. I support the goals of the Trump immigration policy, but not the way he's implementing it. 24%. I oppose Trump's immigration policy and how he's implementing it. 41%. 8% not sure. How do you feel Donald Trump's approach to immigration policy is? Too harsh, 55%. About right, 34%. Too soft, 5%. Not sure, 6%. Whitewater, Wisconsin. Good luck, brother. What's been pissing me off is that Americans don't hold the same smoke for Israel as they do ICE when ICE is literally a product of Israel. That's not even true, man. Like, Americans hate Israel. Americans hate Israel. Just our politicians are bought. Like,
And he went down the Joe's conservative path. Crazy these guys can form your worldview. I know. It is genuinely insane to me that Joe Rogan went through this radical transformation and became a total asshole. And to make matters worse, there are people who literally lean into whatever he says and believe him and also have become assholes themselves.
I'm glad you're a gun guy because I wanted to bring up this whole thing with this guy, Preddy.
Yeah.
And I haven't talked about it. We haven't got killed. But that whole thing, there's a lot of people that don't understand what's going on and why riots only in Minneapolis and why riots in the place where there's an ungodly amount of fraud that has been discovered.
Oh no, are we sure this is a bot channel? How do we know it's a bot channel? How do we know? Is it just because they're like people that owned it were Vietnamese? Is that our number one point? Is that our number one argument? It was striking other channels. Oh, what? Oh, get that shit out of here then. That's okay. Get that shit out of here. You can't strike Hassan's content. So tired today. I had trouble going to sleep last night, which is not normal for me, chat. Which is not normal for me. I usually don't have trouble sleeping, but last night I had a little bit of trouble. You were bragging about your sleep schedule yesterday. See, that was hubris. That was hubris. I was hubristic, and then immediately I got some sort of like, if you want to know what it is, chat, I'm preparing a new project, and it's nearing release. And I want the new project to do really well. So that's probably what it is. The FBI is executing a search warrant for records related to contested 2020 election in Fulton County, Georgia, which has not yet been widely shared. It's an extraordinary document. The FBI is seeking to seize numerous records from the 2020 elections, including ballots, tabulator tapes, digital data, and voter rolls. It cites stiff criminal penalties related to procurement, casting, or tabulation of ballots that are known by the person to be materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent. Oh my God. Catherine M. Salinas signed it. So that's who I want to search. Her current term expired. Did she get reappointed? A federal magistrate's job is to simply determine whether the government has probable cause for its search warrant based on the testimony presented. Do you actually think they provided probable cause? U.S. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard speaks on the phone while standing inside a vehicle loaded with boxes outside the Fulton County election hub in the operations center after the FBI executed a search warrant there. I don't know what else to say other than it's really clear to me that they're going to try to do a coup. I really don't know what else to say. They tried in 2020, but now it seems like they're planning on it. House Republicans unveil election reform bill dubbed Make Elections Great Again Act. House Republicans unveiled a sweeping elections reform bill Thursday that would mandate long-sought requirements like presenting photo ID when voting and citizenship verification to register to vote. Dubbed the Make Elections Great Again Act, the bill is led by House Administration Committee Chair Brian Steele and marks an evolution of election reform legislation that House Republicans have crafted in previous Congresses. The bill would require mail-in ballots to be received by the close of polls on election day to be counted, making an exception for members of the military stationed overseas. Why? Why? And if you're still counting for their ballots, why not just count everybody's ballots that arrive? Several states currently allow mail-in ballots to be counted if they are received up to a certain point after Election Day, as long as they are postmarked by Election Day, often leading to delays in determining election winners in states like California, where the vast majority of ballots are cast by mail. It would ban universal vote-by-mail systems by requiring voters to affirmatively request a ballot to vote by mail. Why? It would prohibit ballot harvesting. The bill would prohibit federal agencies from using taxpayer funds to promote voter registration. It would also ban ranked choice voting in federal election. That's a direct attack on Zoran. They're worried about the left doing better. Remember when Biden was sworn in and I was like, they should pass the vote reform. They should pass that. They should do that. Remember that? And the Democrats did nothing.
Representative Aisha Gomez. She is the representative for District 62A in the Minnesota House of Representatives. And Aisha, you were just telling us that this is you represent South Minneapolis.
Yeah, Sam and Emma, thanks so much for having me. So my district is kind of the heart of the south side of Minneapolis. We've been heavily impacted, of course, by the incursion of the armed secret ICE police in our community. My constituent, Nicole Good, was murdered by ICE agents a couple of weeks ago in my district. We also, again, right around the corner from George Floyd Square, where we were the epicenter of that kind of global event 5 years ago as well. So thanks for having me.
Of course. Just give us a sense of what it's been like over the past, I guess it's now like 3 weeks. 3 weeks of this sort of invasion. I don't know what else really to call it. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are up now. It's at least 2,000 ICE troopers, as Bovino would call them, but at the very least, it's 2,000. Could be closer to 2,500 by now. Just give us a sense of like what the on the ground, like how aware of the presence are they there?
Yeah. So, again, as you said, like there's so little transparency about this this incursion, this invasion by masked, unaccountable, heavily armed, kitted out sometimes in full military garb for a secret police force in our community. So we don't even know how many of them there are. What I can tell you is just that my community is just being impacted in numerous ways by what's going on the ground. Of course, we see scenes of brutality and violence playing out over and over again, day after day, many times a day. Right now, as we speak, Greg Bovino is in my district. He was spotted there. He has a convoy of 4, 5, 6 SUVs with 3 or 4 agents in each of them. You can be just like a regular person going about your life, trying to take your kids to school, trying to go to work or go get, a cup of coffee or something, or going to the grocery store. And you encounter scenes of just impossible to imagine kind of things unfolding on the streets. It was last week, time's a little tough, but it was last week. As you may know, Greg Bovino and his goons, after they murdered my constituent, they went to a high school and at dismissal time, Roosevelt High School, and they used chemical munitions on students, parents, and educators as school was dismissing. So school closed in Minnesota for the Thursday and Friday after they killed, or in Minneapolis, excuse me, after they killed Renee Good. And so then on Monday, the next week, schools were back in. And so many of us were just kind of being at schools because they have, unfortunately, along with hospitals and other places that we used to be able to view as sanctuary spaces in our community, as places that were safe for families and children to exist at, they have become a target of these forces. And so I'm there welcoming the kids to school, and I hear this huge commotion. I hear whistles and horns, and that is how our community are protecting ourselves, is just by gathering, making a crowd, making noise, bringing attention to what they want to have happen in the dark. And I go running over there, and they had arrested 4 immigrant people, including 2 children. And a disabled woman was trying to go to a doctor's appointment. They cut her seatbelt. They forced her door open. As I got there, they were carrying her by her 4 limbs. I don't know, like a carcass of an animal, like a dangerous prisoner who's going to physically attack the person who's trying to restrain them. She just told her story about being at Whipple, being denied, medical attention. And so this is happening. I saw them take another observer down and, kind of crush his face into the concrete, lift him again by his four limbs like an animal. They were using chemical munitions. I was maced. They used tear gas against us in a residential neighborhood. Okay, this is people just live here. And I got to tell you in the midst of all of this, in the midst of all this chaos, dozens of federal agents using chemical munitions on just like regular people, a munition that's banned by the Geneva Convention for use in warfare. And I see this man approaching from across the street, and he has a toddler in his arms. Like the kid must have been around 18 months to 2 years old. And I knew after he moved that he was going to his apartment across the street. But just this scene of this completely terrified man with a completely terrified toddler in a residential neighborhood in an American city, rushing across the street with his jacket wrapped around his baby through clouds of tear gas being used by masked, unaccountable federal agents. I mean, this is what's happening on the streets of Minneapolis.
So what are you going to do about it?
And I think we actually showed the video of both that woman and the man that you referred to. There's two sort of areas that I'm really interested in. And I think it would be helpful for people outside of Minnesota and Minneapolis, because this is not going to end there. One is sort of like best practices in terms of the community organizing, but I'm particularly interested in like what is the state attempting to do or doing, or what do you think they should be doing that they're not doing in terms of like statutorily, in terms of committee hearings? I don't know. Like what is in play on a state level?
Yeah. So I really especially appreciate your first question, Sam, because like it feels like Minneapolis is being used as a testing ground, both in the brutality of the tactics. And we have seen, since they killed Renee Good, we have seen such an acceleration in the brutality and illegality of the tactics that are used against observers, violating people's civil rights with just absolute impunity, using Renee Good as an example and a threat. There are numerous videos of ICE agents saying, didn't you see what happened? Didn't you see what we did? Haven't you learned your lesson?
Right.
The implication being this could be any of you, and it could have been any of us. But I mentioned to you earlier that, Bovino and his shock troops went from the scene of the extrajudicial execution of Renee Good in the street to a high school to gas kids. And my constituents were also on that scene in the dozens and hundreds of us left that scene, and we went out and we did exactly what Renee was doing and her wife were doing, exactly the thing that got her killed. And so at the same time that this moment in Minneapolis is a warning to the country, it's like it's a red alert for our democracy and for like the basic foundational aspirational ideas that founded this country, the idea that there's equal protection under the law, the idea of the Constitution. At the same time that that's what we're facing, we're also seeing what the response to authoritarianism on the march has to be. And that's like the first three words, we the people. That's us coming together in our communities and taking care of each other and doing so courageously and knowing that, like, Renee Good's widow said, they had guns and we have whistles. We're coming together. We're coming together to respond every single time that ICE agents are on our streets. We want dozens and hundreds of people there making noise, alerting our neighbors as to their presence. And we need to take care of each other in these times. And that's actually what's true about us as humans. They want us to be looking at each other with suspicion. They want us to be in our houses. They want us to be terrified. But
so they're literally doing terrorism. They're using force to terrorize a civilian population. And the thing is, it's not going to work. I'm sorry, but Americans are not intimidated by this type of shit. They just aren't.
The communities in Minneapolis and across the state, this is not just happening in Minneapolis. It's a less told story, but this is happening in the suburbs and the exurbs and rural areas and everywhere in our state right now. This invasion is happening. And everywhere in our state, communities are organizing and they're coming together and they're making sure that kids get to school, food gets delivered to people's houses, and are showing an alternative vision of reality of that like destructive, nasty kind of vision of humanity that's being presented to us. Like what is actually true about us as humans is that we exist in community and we have what we need to take care of each other. And so communities across the country, you can't wait until they come to your doorstep. Like you have to start organizing now.
I don't know if this is true or not, chat. I just know that it is viral and I have to show it to you. Erica Kirk is reportedly pregnant. Now, I'm not saying it's true. However, people are liking it. And I think that kind of is a good place to understand the level of mockery that the Kirks have brought on themselves. Conservatives tried so hard to make themselves a martyr or make him a martyr, and it has absolutely fell so fucking flat that they're now mocking her for having an illicit relationship with JD Vance. That's not left-wingers doing that. That's everyone doing that. That's bad, dude. That's a famous troll account, but very funny. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I know. I doubt it's true, but the point is that the larger point is that everybody, like, they are not considered have any kind of respect. The internet has destroyed the edifice of the worship of the Kirks, and it is not pretty. Hardest backfire of all time.
And so that's
Representative Gomez, can you talk a little bit about when you're saying the community's coming together? Where are the local police in this? What have your constituents been saying?
I can only take so much, chat. I can only take so much. All right.
About the local police response and their ability or lack thereof to protect them from ICE. What should people know if they're in Minneapolis or know people in the area about local police response?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of frustration, I would say, on my constituents are frustrated, right? Because what we're seeing is just massive violations of the law every day, all the time, from obviously these really, one of them killed somebody in the street. They're using violence. They're destroying people's property. They're breaking windows. They're violently arresting people. They're rolling through red lights. They're driving 60 miles an hour down a side street. They're driving the wrong way on a one-way. I mean, they're just acting with complete reckless disregard for public safety. So to hear any national person say this is about public safety is like such a joke and a farce to those of us.
Bitcoin is crashing. Coinbase, Binance, and Kraken all saw huge sums at the same time. Huh? Really? Back down in the 80s, huh? I mean, still up. I think it would be really notable if it falls below 69,000. That's really going to be that's a point where you can sit up in your chair and go, oh, hey, crashing.
Existing under this occupation. And so I think that there is, there's a lot of frustration. Also, we have 600 cops and there's 3,000 of these guys here.
Right.
I don't know what I would do if I were in charge of the cops right now, to be totally honest with you. I mean, the fact of the matter is,
I tell you what I would do. I would politically vet them. I'd get the most anti-Trump guys together, however many that is. I'd put them in SWAT gear and I'd storm the fucking hotel and arrest the murderers. And I'd hold them incognito.
Is that like, there's no local law enforcement around the country that's arrested one of these guys. And I mean, somebody should probably do it at some point, but we don't know what's going to happen when that happens. And there is a very real sense here. I mean, they subpoenaed our governor and our mayor and our attorney general and our county attorney. They have cut off federal funding to needy families in Minnesota as retaliation. So there's this real feeling that we're kind of like, we're balancing on a razor's edge. And, you know, and I think it is, unfortunately, you know, and you talked to me about or asked about state law and response. And, you know, like I'm somebody who I've devoted my life to, you know, using the tool of state policy to improve people's lives. I'm the chair of the tax committee. I love this stuff. I get deep in the nerdy details, right, of state level tax policy. And I believe it's a powerful tool to improve the material conditions for working people in this country. But the fact of the matter is that we have to be clear-eyed about the truth, which is that state and local policy are not the tool with which to respond to an authoritarian federal regime. Those tools are inadequate. I wish they weren't,
right?
Because I believe deeply in their power. But but honestly, like, that's why I mean, I'm at the Capitol right now. I haven't been here in a month, I think. I've been in my neighborhood. I've been with my neighbors in the streets because I know that the way that we respond is with community. Our unfortunately, like, our elected leaders, we want them to do everything that they possibly can, and we are working on a lot of policy, but we have to be real about this moment. You know, it goes.
The problem is, unless the governor and what we really need is the formation of a block of states. We need a formation of a block of states. That means uniting Illinois, California, New York, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, you know, the New England states, Colorado, you know, Washington, Oregon. Like, we need to form a block of states, and we need to start operating in some sort of joint political way and start offering physical resistance to law breaking. You know, like, there's really nothing more to say. Like, they do that and they start representing a political bloc of sufficient strength to resist Trump, or they're in trouble.
Beyond our ability to regulate and enforce Minnesota state statute. I wish that wasn't the case, but I think that's where we're at.
Hey, folks.
All right, chat. That's where I'm going to call it for today. But before we go, we've got fresh Tectone mockery on your way out.
I'm shooting a really good YouTube video this Sunday where I am quite literally blindfolding Sear, and I'm taking him to a surprise location.
Oh my god, and then you're gonna shoot him.
Yep.
Because guess who can own firearms? Unfortunate.
You know, I was like debating, I was telling them about how the Twitter algorithm is all fucky wucky now.
Yeah.
I may just start taking pictures with my guns, because...
Can I take photos with your guns?
Yes. Guys just love that.
Yeah. You know, my feelings are I hate OnlyFans women, and I also hate not being able to own guns. But that's something I would say if that was my problem.
Wait, I got
But
it.
it's not my problem, because I actually love OnlyFans women, and I can own guns.
Last night I tweeted this, and I completely forgot about it. Because he has me blocked everywhere. And
Oh my god, dude, you did so well.
He said, he has me blocked everywhere on every account. Can y'all post this under Tectone's latest tweet? And please ask him if he's jealous. And it's this picture of me holding my gun. And then somebody posted a video of it.
A video?
Of everybody, hang on. Everybody posting my picture
Oh my god.
Tectone's tweet.
That's amazing. That's
Oh, I gotta retweet that.
That's how we, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we market in the 21st century.
Dude, this sound. I gotta watch it one more.
All right, everybody, stay safe. Solidarity forever. Socialism will win. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll try to have a better day. I think I've just been ground under lately. You know the best cure when you're feeling down? More streaming. What do you guys say we keep up the streak? More non-stop streaming. Non-stop streaming. Non-stop streaming. When you're feeling tired, you know what the best thing to do? Stream more. All right, everybody, stay safe. Solidarity forever. Free Palestine. Socialism will win. Fuck ICE. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Here's all my links. Make sure you watch the newest YouTube video. Peace out.